Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show. Weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well, but what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content now. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, today we are back for another great episode. We are going to be hitting on a great topic. Today we are going to be dealing with, if men would just listen to women, okay? If men would just listen to women. Now, before we get into this topic, first of all, I want to say shout out to all my people who give me views on a regular basis, because, you know, y'all make up the fam, so I appreciate y'all big time. Shout out to all the folks who leave comments after the stream, because these things help the algorithm grow. Shout out to everyone who hype me up every chance they get. I know you can't hype people up every single time, but those who save it for me and the Roger Report Live, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. Also, shout out to all the people who hit that like button. Y'all doing what y'all can do to help this channel grow, and I definitely appreciate that big time. You know, there's no too little at the Roger Report. We like everybody efforts over here. And I'm also going to say shout out to the people who go above and beyond the call of duty, who chip in a little bit here and there. So shout out to each and every one of y'all. And I want to say shout out to one of my main man, one of my best supporters, Mr. Irvin Reed. Shout out to you, my brother. He is the sponsor of today's stream. Shout out to Irvin Reed. He is the sponsor of today's stream. All right. And let me give some shout outs to some of the first people to check in, because anytime you start a show, it's always great to see that you got a few people checking in here and there. And we got my main man first in the house, what we like to call around these parts, the Highlander of today's stream. Shout out to Bruce on Wayne. He is the Highlander of today's stream. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate your brother. And he also is the first person to drop a little something on the show today. He says again and again, he is the Highlander of today's stream, says again and again. So he's doing it and doing it well out here, y'all. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that. And that is real talk. And shout out to the other folks who's joined us. My main man, Trail Billing, representing as he always does. Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag hey, either. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. My main man, Patrick Saint, is in the building. Great to see you. Great to see you. We got Tunner running in the house. What's good, my brother? What's good? Lloyd Thompson is here representing. Yay, yay. KNC and Red is in the house. What's going on, my brother? What's going on? Shout out to Jerome Payne. Great to see you. Great to see you. My main man, Shark Sims, is in the building. Glad to have you, brother. Glad to have you. Shout out to the Great Black Reset. Good to have you in the house as well. Superstar Jay Quick is at the cool table. Glad to have you. Afro Merchant is in the building. Great to see you. Great to see you. We got Moose School in the house. Glad to have you. Brunk is at the cool table. Good to see you. And not the one, the only, my main man, the pit master himself, our guy. And shout out to the entire pit crew. Chef Mike's Roundtable is in the building. Great to have you. Great to have you. Got Chef Mike's Roundtable in the building. Shout out to him. Also, shout out to Mr. Suge to you. Great to have you. Great to have you. And J Dub, great to have you all. Good to have you all. And the darling of the channel is here as well. Hey, Trust, how you doing? How you doing? Great to see you as well. Great to see you. Woo, y'all. We got a good little show here to do today. Should get very interesting. Pretty quick as well. We got a show. Now, first of all, as I said in the hook, y'all, just for the laugh of it, I added I added a clip, not really the main topic of the show. But a black man walking down the street in front of another black man. Now, you could say this is scripted. That it possibly could be. The gentleman that plays the guitar, I see him doing things here and there. Some stuff possibly could be scripted. Sometimes you just at the right place at the right time for a great situation to happen. Okay, shout out to the brother, because I know the brother who's playing the guitar, y'all. I've seen him doing some other stuff, so I know this is something he does to create content. Okay. Now the brother walking down the street with the young lady. The brother walking down the street with the young lady. Now we always can say this could be scripted, but I don't know if it was. I think this is possibly just a guy who happened to be coming down the street with a young lady that he probably had a disagreement with. Okay, he probably had a disagreement with. Okay, just from what you can see of them, it looks like he's a little bit older than her. Okay, she's a little bit of a younger lady. Based on the things that she said, it's easy to think she might be somewhat of an entitled young lady. Okay, she might be somewhat of an entitled young lady. So when he talked to the brother, when the man talked to the brother playing the guitar, say, "Are you hitting on my woman?" And he said, "Yeah." He took an opportunity, man. Now I'm just thinking they may have had some words, and she may have said about how easy it is for her to go get another man. that may have happened before they walked across this camera. And now that the brother said something to him, he may have took advantage of that. This is my theory, y'all. He took advantage of that little bit of disagreement and said, hey, you know what? We got a man right here who interested. Why don't you just go with him? Because if you don't like the world that I got you in, if you don't appreciate what I'm doing for you, here's a guy who's interested in you. Why don't you take him? Okay. Not saying that the guy playing the guitar is not a good guy to go with. I'm just saying sometimes, women say some stuff, but a lot of times they don't necessarily have to face consequences on some of the stuff that they said. And it's just my theory that a gentleman happened to be walking by and was at least offering the idea of some consequences to a young lady who may have come across to him in a very entitled way. Okay, she is a Black woman, so it's not that much of a stretch. A lot of Black women will tell a man, I can go get another man like it's nothing. And he may just say, you know what? Here go one that wants you. Why don't you take advantage? Shout out to him for that. Because I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Now, shout out to my main man, Trey Bentley. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. Thank you for helping me get off to the good start. He says, they say every good-looking woman, there is a man who is sick of her behind. I'll say that. There is a man that's sick of her behind, and I do agree with that. Honestly, I think it's more than one man that's sick of her behind when you think of it, okay? When we truly think about it, it's way more than just one guy usually who's sick of her. And I think we just caught a guy being sick of his woman, at least in the moment. Okay. So yeah, that's what I really believe it was. Okay. That's what I really believe it was. Shout out to Charles Gasil. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Okay. Oh, no. Is that Charles Gus the Third? Looks like. Shout out to Charles Gus the Third. Okay. Newer name. Maybe your first time here, maybe not. We'll see what you say in the comment to get an idea. He says, men, excuse me, man do listen. Well, I guess he meant men do listen to women. If that's a pawn listening, it was learned that women are more man than a man is. I'm talking virtually in all areas. Facts, no jokes. Okay, well, you know what? You say a woman is more man than a man is. I'm gonna say no. I mean, no disrespect to you, because I really don't know how you coming across with this. But if you believe a woman is more man than a man, you at the right place. That's all I'm gonna say. You at the right place. Okay, you definitely at the right place. Okay, because I'm gonna disagree with you altogether. Because men are not women, and I do understand there's guys who say that women are masculine. I never agree with that. I think that's one of the worst things people say, because they're not. Now they are dysfunctional. I give you that. But the behavior that y'all usually refer to don't remind me of anybody masculine at all. And that's real talk. Okay. I'm not reminded of masculinity when I see women, especially women who are acting dysfunctional. Okay. So I'm going to say you got to kind of ask yourself, what do I even see as a man? Okay. And that's not a diss to anybody, just something for people to think about. All right. Now, I'm going to say this, y'all. I put the link in the description. Okay. We had a young lady. All right. She said some stuff. Okay. She said some stuff. Now I'm going to say this. She's not the first woman to say some dumb stuff. She won't be the last woman that says some dumb stuff. But, you saw the gentleman speaking with her. And I'm not mad, y'all. Obviously, this was some type of podcast of some kind. Okay. So technically, when you have people talk in a podcast, you technically are supposed to listen. Okay, so I'm gonna give them credit. They are supposed to listen to what she's saying, because you got to be able to respond to the conversation that's in front of you. So I'm not saying nothing bad about them on that level. But see, I do believe this is a good example of what happened amongst men and women on a regular basis. All right. Women say some stuff. They feel like we're not listening to them. Okay. Women do truly feel like men are not listening to them. Okay. Now, shout out to Positive Vibes. She says, if you play for the other team, just say that. I mean, it is what it is. We do have to remember that a lot of black women actually do play for the other team. You know, they go back and forth. That's not an unusual thing amongst black women anymore. Now, back in the day, you know, it wasn't a whole lot of folks doing that, but amongst black women, we gotta, we gotta be realistic, y'all. A lot of them do play for other teams, so don't think stuff just come out of nowhere. Don't think stuff come out of a lot of them. I don't know which ones, but a lot of them do. They dabble back and forth on which side they playing for. Let's just keep it real, okay? Let's just keep it real. All right, now, we had a woman that said some stuff, and then the guys, they listened to what she said, and I'm gonna say it hit home for them. It did hit home for them based on how they responded. I believe it hit home for them. Maybe not even personal for other people that they know do certain things, and I do think, y'all, this is a great example of where some of the biggest problems in Black America start. Okay. This is a great situation to see. Even though this was a podcast, and I'm giving the gentleman a break because they were on a podcast, but their responses, I believe, were just like people who weren't necessarily on a podcast or close to how guys would respond. I think their response would represent how a lot of guys would respond. Why? Because black men listen to black women far too much. I'm going to say it again, y'all. Black men listen to black women far too much. See, we live in a society where they always pushing, you men are messed up, you men are the problem, you men don't know how to conduct yourselves, you men are doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. And at the end of the day, if you actually pay attention, you start figuring out they want you to listen to women more. And if you do not listen to women more, they will make up terms to call you names, such as emotional, and you're not emotional intelligent. Okay. If you do not listen to a woman, they'll say you're not emotional intelligent. Okay. You're not emotional intelligent, which is very stupid. Because to say someone's emotional intelligence, it literally means managing another person's emotions. Okay? It ain't my responsibility to manage someone else's emotions. That's number one. Emotional intelligence, if you're going to even act like it's a real term that's supposed to really mean something, that means you're supposed to manage your own emotions. I should not have to manage your emotions. All right? I should manage my emotions, if anything, but your emotions have no real concern to me. But see, they say stuff like this to men so men can feel inadequate. They say things like this to men so they can feel like somehow they're beneath a standard that they're supposed to hit. Okay? And the woman said something that would trigger, I'm going to say trigger a good amount of men. Some men would listen to what she said and say, okay, well, that's what she thinks. That's on her. I think smarter men who happened to hear what she said would just ignore what she said and just, okay, we got another stupid woman here. Women say stupid stuff all the time. Why am I surprised that a woman's going to say something stupid? And I know people can hear that and say, well, Roger, now, come on now. You can't say women just saying stupid stuff. I ain't say women just saying stupid stuff. I'm saying this is an example of a woman who says something stupid. Because, see, at the end of the day, y'all, in Black America, we start off on a very wrong premise when it comes between men and women. You have women who want men to take care of them. Okay? I'm not even saying there's something wrong with that. You're a woman, you want to be taken care of by a man. You want a man to go out, go to work, earn money, pay bills. As a woman, put you in position so you don't have to concern yourself with a lot of things that go on in the world. I'm not saying that's bad at all. Okay? Not saying that's bad at all. But that is the goal of an intelligent woman, to get a man who is willing to take on the world on her behalf. Okay? Now, does that mean she doesn't do anything? She can assist him. She may even do a business with him. But at the end of the day, when stuff gets hard, when stuff gets pushed in too much of a direction, when it's a little more heat than she's prepared to deal with, she'll have a man she can pass things along to. She can have a situation that turns a little bit too much for her. And she says, well, baby, I think I need you to take over right about now. And then you will have a man that will step in and handle that business. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So in reality, women are looking for some man to take them on as a responsibility so they can, again, protect them from certain things that go on in the world. Now, you have men who, if they know what's going on, they understand, hey, I'm going to deal with the world in a way that also allows me to help protect a woman from dealing with the world. Okay? I'm going to take things on so she doesn't have to. Now, if you understand this very simple concept that most Black people don't get, I'm going to just tell it straight up true. Most Black people don't get, is why we have stupid conversations going on all over the internet. Now, this was just one small stupid conversation that's going on over the internet. And yeah, I'm going to say it's a stupid conversation just off the stuff that was said. You had a woman who was concerned about some guy and how he earns his money. And the guys took it some kind of way. Because even though they may not work for people themselves, they know people who work for people, because most people work for somebody. That is a reality in America. Okay? Most people work for somebody. And what did they do that a lot of men do? And this is why a lot of men fail. We overly concern ourselves with some woman and her thoughts that are simply not going to take care of us. Okay? Now, you could be offended about what they said, or you could just start being realistic about what they said. Now, if I talk to a woman and she says, hey, I only want to deal with a man who works for himself and no one else. Can I say that that is a bad thing to say? No, I'm not going to say that's a bad thing to say. That's how she want to get down. Okay? That's how she wants to get down. I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with that. Okay? But I do understand that for the average man, because he doesn't work for himself, you got two ways to go about that. You can care what she said, or you can do what's best for you. Now, is it good for any man to get into a position where he works for himself only? Yeah. See, it sounds like a good idea. If you can get to a position where you work for yourself and you're in yourself alone, there's nothing wrong with that at the end of the day. There's nothing wrong with that. Should it be a goal for most men? Oh, absolutely. It should be a goal. It should be a goal. Are most men going to be able to go out and do this immediately? No, not really. Because how are you trained in this American society? Most of us, we go to school, okay, with public education and horrible school systems. And then on top of that, some of us, it's not even the majority of us. Some of us, a minority of people will go to college, okay, or some form of trade school. And that's pretty much what prepares you to go into the world. Do these things prepare you to run businesses? Not really. Can you learn some stuff about running businesses going to school? Sure, you can. There are some schools that are going to be a little bit better at that than others. But education is designed to create employees. It is what it is. Okay? That's what it's for. Okay? Are there certain education that you can get that teach you how to create business for yourself? Well, yeah, there's some. But the reality is education is designed to give you an employee's mindset to keep people that are rich and unchallenged. That is the general ideal of education. Now, you can go to a certain school here or there for something different, but that's the general ideal of education. To make sure that we have employees who can come in and follow orders. Now, I'm not mad at any man who wants to create his own business. And because of technology at this particular moment, now that we are in 2026, it's a little bit easy to get your own business off the ground. Does not mean your business will be able to sustain you, all by yourself, but it's a little easy to go for. So now, if you listen to a woman say, well, hey, you know what? I want a man that is he already has his own business. See, she's not even just talking about a man who already has his own business. What she's really saying is, I want a man who's already created a successful business where I don't need to come in and do anything. If you listen to her conversation, that's what she meant. She did not mean I want a man who has a business because he simply has a business. Because it don't take a whole lot to file the proper paperwork so you can quote unquote have a business. Don't take a whole lot to do that. Now, to have a successful business where you're earning enough money to take care of yourself and other people, well, see, that's going to take some work. And see, a lot of guys will get offended because we're thinking, well, she said something. I'm mad because I work for somebody. Not even paying attention to the fact that, number one, if you're dumb enough to listen to her, okay, she don't want you to have a business. She wants you to have a business that puts her in position to take advantage of you. That's what she's asking for. She's not just asking for some man to have a business. I need you in position so I can take advantage of you. You're a man. I want you to take care of responsibilities so I don't have to. Now, this is a common thing amongst women. They may not add the business part onto it, but a lot of women are saying these same things. I don't want a man because he's working. I don't want a man that's productive. I want a man who is so productive that I don't have to help him do anything. I want a man that puts me in a position where I can kick it. I don't want to be support to a man. Okay? I don't want to help no man out. I want him to already be winning when I show up. Okay? I want him to already be winning when I show up. And I'm saying something about this because it is a reality that a lot of black men, we're going to listen to women say a lot of dumb things And they words mean a whole lot to us. Now, we as black men got to be real about this. We hear women say stupid stuff on a regular basis, but the difference with us is that we believe the stupid stuff women say is extremely important. And we need to ask ourselves a question. Now, I get it. This could sound offensive to people, but we truly need to ask ourselves a question. As black men, why do we care so much about the dumb stuff women say? Because let's keep it real, y'all. It's all types of group of women. Well, every group of women gonna have women that say dumb stuff. Every group of women is gonna have women that say dumb stuff. They're gonna say just as dumb things as some black women gonna say. Now it may not be as prevalent amongst them, but their women are gonna say stuff just as dumb as what black women are gonna say. Why do we care so much? See, as a man, there are realities you need to really come to terms with. You need to take care of yourself. That's a reality. You're going to grow up and you're going to take care of yourself. Yeah, we all start as babies. Then we become little boys, teenagers. Then we become men. And the average black man in America, you're going to have to learn to take care of yourself. That's your reality. All right? You're going to be able to have to fund yourself. You're going to have to be able to take care of where you live. Whether you got a mansion, whether you got a really nice home, if you got an apartment, or if you got a cardboard box, you pretty much going to take care of yourself. Now, when it comes down to it, we're going to want women, because that's who we are. We're going to want women. And a lot of women are going to want you to take care of them. Now, I am not saying it's bad for a woman to desire to be taken care of. Not saying that that's a bad thing. But at the end of the day, as a man, you got to pick the one that's worth taking care of. That is 100% on you. Now, a lot of women, they try to make black men feel bad, and they guilt trip us to making us believe that we should be taking care of women who do not need to be taken care of whatsoever. Okay? A lot of black women are really pushing that right now, especially due to the fact that most of them don't have any husbands and they have the internet available to them. So they're doing what they've always done. Well, I ain't going to say what they've always done, because it's going to... I'm gonna say this. I'm going to do what I've seen them doing since I was a child. I'll say it like that. They're doing what I've seen them do since I was a child. They're begging. Okay? That's what they're doing. They're begging. And they're trying to make men feel guilty that they are in the situations they are in. And they want to blame black men because they are in a particular situation, when there's all type of evidence that they could have been better off, but didn't support the men who were trying to give them better off. So to me, I see it as a personal issue, but they want to make it a mass issue or a government issue, just anything where the issue don't fall squarely upon them. Again, I'm not saying it's bad for a woman to want a man who has a business. But if you want to show up when the business is already successful, I don't understand why you would count. And that's just real talk. But I'm going to slow it down right here because we got our first guest, Black Uru, is here. So I'm going to let Black Uru get the mic. Go ahead, my brother. How you doing?
Hey, Roger. Thanks for having me. I hope you're doing well. I hope the folks in the public chat are doing well. Wow. There's so many aspects of that one video with the woman and the two guys talking to her that signal so much of the decline of black men and women relationships and value systems. It's almost heartbreaking to watch that video. And I'm not even really exaggerating in the least bit. Well, let me focus on one thing because I'll go well past 3 minutes or whatever. Let me say, and this is kind of somewhat on the offbeat of what you're saying. I find the behavior of the men in that video deplorable, horrible, encouraging, and celebrating the vanity and the selfishness and the delusion of that woman like that, and using whatever credibility you have. I don't know who they are. I have to assume there's somebody who has some kind of audience and some kind of support. Maybe they do very well. Maybe they're millionaires. I don't know who they are. But the fact that you could use everything you have, every equity that you have as a man, to essentially co-sign the dreadful things that woman said and that woman represent. Black men have got to stop doing that, man. Black men have got to stop doing that. We got to stop supporting that kind of stuff. I mean, we talked about the thing with Klay Thompson. I also alluded back to Michael B. Jordan. This supporting and promoting the shit that's coming from these women. We as black men have got to become much more critical of black men doing that. And I'll end my opening statement there.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say that to me, it makes sense when you think about the fact that a lot of black men going to have to make an adjustment in their life, because a lot of us were raised by women. And this is something we really need to truly focus on. If I'm raised by a woman and the woman that raised me says dumb stuff, and I believe these dumb things are important because I heard a woman say these dumb things so many times to me as I was growing up. As a man, should I continue to agree with the stuff that was presented to me when I was a child? And I think that's something every man needs to really think about. Make a decision. Should I agree with the stuff that people told me when I was a child? Because, you get to a point where you become an adult. It's great to start doing this right around 18 years old. Maybe you do it a little bit later. Maybe you do it at 22. Maybe you do it at 25. But I do believe you should, at some point in your life, really start thinking, should I agree with the stuff that was taught to me when I was a child? Does it make sense to agree? Now, I definitely get a statement on its own where, men should work for themselves. On its own, yeah, it sounds cool. It sounds cool. But at the end of the day, I also understand there is a lot to working for yourself because it's about, can you provide? And I think a lot of people kind of miss the fact that she don't want a man that works for himself. She wants a man who's already proven that he's good in the market without her at all, just so she can trick his money off. So you want me to be successful simply to trick off my money? I don't understand how that works for any man. But there's a lot of black men who will publicly support these type of messages.
She also, if you listen to her, Roger, I agree. She definitely wants a man to trick off, whatever hard-earned earnings and wealth that he has. Who knows how many years or decades of his life he worked to acquire the resources and the training and the discipline and whatever to get to a point to acquire those things. Who gives a shit about that? You got it now. So let me steal from you what it might have taken you 30 years to accumulate. Let me very casually slick my ass into your life and just take the shit. It don't matter what was invested in you. It don't matter who was invested in you. Your parents could have invested in, hundreds of thousands of dollars educating you. Your coaches, your high school coaches, your college coaches, your professional coaches, and with respect to all these people, all these entities invested in you. You come around, shake your ass a little bit, and you get to steal from it. And if you have a child, or if he's fool enough to marry you, you get to steal for the man for the next 20 years. Some dreadful messaging that's being presented here. Dreadful messaging.
Yeah. And shout out to Kev, a black man being brutally honest. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. That's my habitual line step of brother. My first one right there. He says Sympatron must be stopped, no matter the cost. Hey, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. And it's to me, it's a shame that at the end of the day, there's gonna be people who listen. There's gonna be guys who take what she said as law. And some of these guys gonna try to kill themselves so they can do it for someone. It may not be her, but they gonna kill themselves trying to do it for some woman because all they heard is, I need to be a boss. I need to be super successful. And I need to position myself so some woman can trick with my money. I ain't looking for nothing.
The other thing.
Go
the
ahead,
other thing this woman described, and again, I'll refer back to Klay Thompson and Michael B. Jordan, because these are all ironically related. Because they don't just want your money, although they clearly want that, but they don't just want your money. In fact, in some ways, what they want even more from you is your status. Meg Thee Stallion wanted Klay Thompson, the great light-skinned that did tall, Klay Thompson in the NBA, 4 championships with Golden State. She wanted Klay's status. Lori Harvey, Michael B. Jordan, movie star, eventual Oscar-winning movie star, biggest black movie star, and hell, the biggest movie star right now. She wanted his status. So what that woman described is when she was complaining about the plumbers, who, by the way, I'm 60-some years old. I ain't never in my life known a broke plumber, black, white, or Mexican. Every plumber I've ever known in my life was paid. Everyone. So I mean, to use plumbers as a profession to talk down on, what world are you in? All the plumbers I know, they own their houses, they had businesses, or even if they work for another corporation, they sent their children to colleges and universities, and they took every vacation. I ain't never known a plumber that didn't live a damn comfortable life. This is crazy talk. But I'm ranting now, and I'll let Shark get in. Sorry.
And let me say right now, because I've said before, y'all, I got family background as construction. I've never had to help a plumber. Okay, there's never been a plumber that asked me for a loan. I've never known a plumber who I need to buy a sandwich for. I don't know any plumber that was behind on his bills. Like, yeah, to go in on the plumbers. I mean,
I would gladly give Uru part of my time to finish his rant. I would gladly do that.
Well, he ain't gonna need it. He gonna talk over you the whole show. You hear that,
Yeah,
Buster? Make sure
Yeah,
the whole show. Anytime
let
you're
me
talking,
cool down a little bit. Let me
that,
cool
that,
down because I mean this is really there's so much m- social malady here that I mean the more I think about it, the more infuriating I get. So gonna dial back. I'm gonna sip on my blueberry coffee. I'm gonna let you guys rock with it for a minute.
but I'm gonna read this right before I give it to Sharp. Shout out to Mark Bryant. He says the messaging coming from any media must be contested. It ain't tricking if you got it. Now I don't know if you saying that if because you agree with that statement of it ain't tricking if you got it, but you literally have to have it to trick it. So shout out to T-Pain is a good songwriter, but that ain't never made sense. You got to have it to trick it. So you if you ain't got it, you can't trick it. If we look at what
I
tricking is,
mean
tricking means throwing it
that's
away.
just sucker that's sucker simp ass talk. And the fact that black men adapted to that bullshit, again, that kind of speaks to my initial rant about the guys on that panel. Cause I'm starting to really see where the problem is here. And I'm kind of moving away
uh-oh,
from the women.
uh-oh, uh-oh. You
I'm
gonna get an
kind of
argument. You
moving
gonna get
away
an
from the
argument with
women.
Roger. You gonna get an argument with Roger.
I think,
But
I
go
think,
ahead, go
I
ahead.
think this
You
where you
right,
ask me
Roger.
to.
I'm talking over
This,
y'all. I don't want to talk over
No,
y'all. My bad. Go ahead.
no.
Go
This
ahead,
is when
Chuck.
you hit me with the bounce pads. I'm going straight to the hole with it, motherfucker. We going straight to the hole with it. Straight to the hole with it. And I got my jersey tucked in my shorts too. I'm looking professional today.
Clean, you clean.
I say this to y'all all the time. First of all, peace to the chat. Happy Tuesday, everybody out there. I say this to y'all all the time. It's us. And me personally, I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna say it's a 75% chance her father's in her life. It's these niggas raising these chicks thinking they princesses. It's niggas with this the dumbest mentality. First of all, I don't know. This is how you know when niggas ain't from like when people ain't from certain sides of the track. Tricking, that's what the hoe do to you to get your money from you. I don't know when it got turned into a positive thing where you doing something that's ill for no bro, she's tricking you out of your stuff. That's why you called the trick. You dig it? So I want to say like that's why I don't think we should be going any further into the future because like we just the dumbest in the world. I don't ever see Maria saying this stuff. I don't ever see Marisol, as Uru would say. I don't ever see any races of women saying this stuff but ours. And we the only ones that will tolerate it and sit down and even have a conversation, even give this woman a platform. And the illest part is she looks like a regular chick saying this. Now, when you see the white guys, they doing their little interviews and it's the chicks saying this crazy stuff, they look like straight up prostitutes, tattoos all over the place. Like you could literally look at them and tell, oh, all right, our regular women think like this. The chick who's a nurse thinks like this. The chick, they don't even know who makes money. The doctor has a boss. Literally, the rapper has a boss. I said yesterday we have a self-destruct button. The only person who don't got a boss is the drug dealer. And if you know, like I know, that nigga got a boss because he ain't bringing the drugs in. He getting it from the CIA and all them. So he even got a boss. These women are self-destruct buttons walking. Don't get me wrong, she cute. But I can't even listen to a female with shorts on, boots up to her thigh, and a goddamn wig on. Why we even listening to anything she has to say? Why would they even have her on their platform? So it goes back to us. We are the biggest problem. We are the ones perpetuating this nonsense. We the ones tolerating this nonsense. We the ones paying for this nonsense. We the ones getting ourselves killed for this nonsense. We the ones fighting each other for this nonsense.
You
And
know
then we
what?
want to blame women. Oh,
You know
women this
what?
and women that. Nah, bro, you gotta
You know
as
what, Sharp?
leaders, we
You
gotta
you
take responsibility.
you starting to go over your 2 minutes, and you know what? The problem is you don't listen to women. That's what the problem is.
I'll be Jack Daniels if I do.
If men would just listen to women, this wouldn't be an issue, brother. This would. Of course, I'm joking with you. I'm joking with you. But Great Black Reset, get in there, brother. Get in there.
Hey, what's up, fellas? What's up, chat? What's up, everybody, man? Uru, first of all, do you need any more time to rant, sir? Do you need any more time? If Uru don't need
You
it,
gotta let an
so
old man recover. You
okay,
gotta let
okay.
an old man recover. I gotta
Let
balance out
let
my blood pressure.
He's still
I
cool
gotta
now.
keep
He's
my
still
blood
cool
pressure
though.
down.
let me
Yeah.
move on to one of these young fellas. Sean, you need any more time because he interrupted your rant, and I appreciate it. And I want to know if you need any more time, you can use some of my time to rant, sir.
Nah,
Do you need
I'm
any
on the
more?
bench next to Uru drinking Gatorade now because
Okay.
I done went hard
Well,
in the paint.
well, look, we all playing for the same team, and I got to agree with them. When I was watching this, I was mad with them niggas. And yeah, I'm gonna say niggas. Cause they signing up for niggertry. We care too much about what these women say and the lexicon that they create for us. And we just repeating the foolishness that are coming out of their mouths and leading us to destruction. Them two niggas are followers. I don't care how much money they make. I don't care what podcast they own or none of that. Them niggas are followers. They'll do anything to get next to a woman that they deem to be attractive. They gonna agree with anything she say and all this other kinds of stuff. Them niggas are enemies of the state. They are enemies of the state of blackness. To let a woman sit up there and talk crazy like that without any correction, you are an enemy of the state. I don't I don't take anything she said seriously. I'm sure she represents a lot of black women, which is why we shouldn't even be listening to anything that they say when it comes to our doings and the way that we go about the earth. They don't count the cost for anything. They just want everything. These women are the most selfish they've ever been in human history. And she's just an example of it. Just like Shark said, regular looking chick talking crazy.
All right. This one I'm gonna step in, and I'm gonna say, bro, the problem is you don't use your emotional intelligence. Okay, if you use some more emotional intelligence, you should be able to understand where she's coming from. Okay, you should be able to agree with her.
I
But
can't
see,
use I can't use my emotional intelligence. I'm emotional right now, and the intelligence is going out the window. I'm just mad.
Reset. He trolling the hell out you right now. Don't let
I
him put
know
you
it.
on the bench.
I'm just mad. I can't.
Stay in the game. Stay in the
I'm
game.
finna sit over here next to Uru in a minute because you getting my blood pressure up, talking crazy, man.
see,
These women, man.
see,
You know
if
what?
y'all wasn't so misogynistic, this conversation would go in this direction. See, that's the problem. It's too much misogyny. Too much misogyny.
God dang, man,
Uh,
bro.
now,
I, we got it. We have to stop listening to women. We have to stop listening to anything that they're talking about because their goal is to drive you in poverty and move on to the next man. That's their goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you even got some that literally say it nowadays. You even got a few out there that would actually say it. Now, I'm gonna say, of course, I'm kidding with you guys, but
Of course.
this is how women say certain stuff to try to get guys off what they talking about, and how to get guys to not pay attention to the things that they should pay attention to. And As men, there is something that should kick in inside you. Why am I listening to the woman that wants me to pay for her? Now, my parents did a few key things, if you ask me, when I was growing up. They did it with myself, my brothers, my sisters. I seen aunties and uncles do it too. I seen it work amongst many people. You know, I remember when we were children, right? And we children, so we want stuff. We gonna ask for stuff, okay? And as children, we'd have opinions about things. And you know what they told us when we was children? Don't nobody
You
care about your opinion, okay? Now they said it in a nice parental way, but they let us know, plain and simple, your opinion don't count because you can't pay for squat.
That's right.
At the end of the day, your opinion will only matter when we dictate it matter. And if you don't take advantage of it quick enough, we'll stop it from mattering then. Now, I don't have any problem with that whatsoever, because as an adult, I understand where they're coming from now. May not have understood then, but I definitely understand it now. Now, when I think about this, you have women who try to tell men what they supposed to pay for, how they're supposed to put some women in some key position. And I ain't gonna say all, but just about every woman I hear speaking on the internet in any context of relationship, the goal is to tell, especially black men, what we can't tell them. So you want me to pay for you. You want me to put you in a certain position, buy you gifts and trinkets so you can show off to your friends. And the one thing I'm not supposed to do is tell you what to do. Now, the world I come from,
but
that don't
Roger,
compute. Go ahead.
what actually though was presented in the video was actually worse than that, because what she said was, it don't matter if you're a hardworking man. It don't matter if you make a whole lot of money and are willing to spend that money on me. I just don't like you or want you, and I'm going to disrespect you because of the work you do to earn a living. So
Yeah,
I'm
she
going to
basically said,
change, not that you can't buy me this or that, or that you're hardworking or make a good amount of money. No, but the work you do makes you unworthy. See,
right.
this is a
She
kind of messaging. This is a crazy kind of messaging here. This is a dangerous kind of message, because
Destruction.
that means you basically, any blue collar worker who may be working, many blue collar workers easily make six figures, but it don't matter because you got to fill in a request for some vacation time in a couple of weeks. So
right.
that means you ain't shit.
But
That's
Now
what
Willie,
your
she
job,
said.
what
now
white
your
collar
job
worker
ain't
don't?
attractive.
What
Your
white collar
job ain't
worker don't got
attractive.
to fill in for vacation? The nigga in the office
Hey,
building got to do the
look,
same thing.
everybody have to answer to something, to somebody, some organization. Everybody is accountable to something. Everybody is accountable to some authority. The highest people are accountable to some authority. We got one fool right now on earth that think he's not accountable to anybody, and that's Trump. He the only one. Everybody else know they're accountable to either some individual or some board or some group or some association. Everybody's accountable to something. So the messaging there is so afield from reality and rational thought that I just think its behavior is dangerous to feature this kind of messaging. And for black people, young impressionable black people, to actually listen to it and adapt it, this whole get rich or die trying shit, man, is very destructive.
Well, we see what's going on now. And to add to that, now
Well,
you see why
hold
they on
fast,
TikTok
hold
ranting.
fast, hold fast. No disrespect. We got Bronk up here though. We got Bronk that came up. I gotta let him in. So Bronk, you got a
Man,
2-minute open statement. Do your thing,
put
my
that
brother.
nigga back in the back.
Yeah, he could hold for 10 minutes.
Oh man, what up, chat? What up, panel?
What up,
Man,
bro?
man, I was watching that video, man, and it was just infuriating, man. I just had to, I had to pause it actually and then replay it. But I'm like y'all, I was a lot more upset with the guy on this one, man, because you're basically giving these type of women a platform on your platform. I kind of tried to dig into her background and even see what does she actually do. What does she produce? What does she add to the world? And of course, didn't find nothing except for an Instagram page. So you know what type of female that is.
Oh, we know what she adding to the world.
Yeah, we know what she adds to the world. But but for them to bring her on their
Can we tell?
platform
Can
though,
we
man.
tell one truth about Instagram models though, right quick? I gotta get this out. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I really am.
Go ahead, go ahead.
You got to know that every Instagram model is a current or wannabe hooker.
Yep,
Every one
yep,
of them.
exactly. And that's
Every
where I
one
was
of them
going with
is
it.
marketing sex for sale.
Yep, yep. And that's exactly where I was going with it. For these brothers to invite this basically prostitute on her platform or on their platform and allow her to disrespect so many black men and basically call them nothing for doing honest work. When you a professional side chick, bro, that's just egregious, man. I understand these brothers are, having their fun with her. I'm sure they busted down. I'm sure she took care of them, right? But stop giving these hoes a platform, man. Let them go use their Instagram page to market themselves, right? Let them go to Dubai to market themselves. Let them do all that to market themselves. But let's not invite them onto our platform and spaces to market themselves, and let them have free reign to call our brothers nothing for doing honest work. So yeah, it's very frustrating to see that, man. When I saw the video, Shark, you the first person I thought of as I was watching the video, and I'm like, dang.
Damn,
Like,
son.
this is exactly what
That a
Shark.
good?
This
That a
is
good thing
exactly
or a
what
bad
Shark
thing?
talking about. Yeah. No, no, no. But I just heard Shark. I just heard Shark in the back of my mind. It's you niggas. You like these fat
Yeah,
asses.
shark is the moral.
You like
Shark is
these
the
fat
moral
asses.
compass of you niggas. Shark is the moral compass of you niggas.
Man, these niggas cannot let go of these fat asses, man. And that's part of the problem, man. So I'm laying my plane there, man. I'm gonna jump back in, but yeah, it's crazy.
Cause look, when you think about it, Roger, it's you niggas who made her a Instagram star.
Well, not me, of course, but
Not you, of
I
course, but
totally, I totally get what you're
even though you
saying.
look at a page, you probably see Roger's dot right there with a light going in and shit. But you right, we can't prove it. But it's niggas who made her Instagram star.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I don't even be knowing who these hoes be because I don't keep up with hoes like that. Okay, but if stuff slides out here and there. Yeah, y'all know I do what I can to avoid promoting hoes at the end of the day. And now she may say she's not a hoe, but if you're an Instagram model, according to all information that I know about Instagram models are hoes. They give links and different things to different things that they're associated with, and they do have sex for money. That is my understanding of an Instagram model. So if anybody think I'm
The,
wrong, you
the
can
the
say what you
whole
want to say, but
point
that's what.
of an Instagram model is to build up enough following, enough attention, so that Kevin Durant, you appear on Kevin Durant or Drake's feed or
Radar.
whatever, and then you get flued out.
Yeah,
That's the whole point to it. That's the whole game.
Yeah,
yeah,
their backup is until they get to that level, they will have sex with enough regular dudes that will pay them to keep their lifestyle up.
yeah. And that's why, because I don't really want to come up like I'm trying to disrespect anybody. I'm just saying what my understanding of Instagram models, period, is that they do sell sex for money. That's
Wait,
what they do.
see,
Okay.
that's the second problem. You don't want to come off like you disrespecting nobody. You gotta disrespect people who disrespect themselves.
No. I'm saying that for legal purposes because I know it's somebody. Be like, well, I'm not a hoe. No, my entire understanding of Instagram models is that they're hoes. I have never heard of
Yeah.
one or
Well,
looked
look,
into one that was not a
none of
hoe.
us have directly accused anyone here, and let's be careful not to do so going forward. None of us have directly accused her, I guess, of anything or any woman of anything. But if you market yourself as an IG model, yes, I do believe that you're selling sex.
Yeah,
Now, if you want to take that any kind of way, I'm inclined to believe what I want to believe. I have not accused you in particular of anything, but I am
yeah.
inclined to believe what I choose to believe.
And I'm gonna reiterate, I've never checked out any Instagram model that wasn't selling pussy. I'm gonna say it like that. I ain't never checked one out that wasn't selling pussy. So it is what it is. I ain't said it ain't one that ain't selling pussy, but I don't know of any that I've looked into that ain't selling pussy. So, you
Well,
know.
in the words of Kendrick Lamar, one of the famous ghetto poets, Instagram is the best way to sell some pussy.
Now, shout out to Larry. He say, or start an OF account. Now I'm gonna say they do have links a lot of times to accounts such as OF or other places that they sell, or where they say where you can come look at their body and pay some money for it. Usually there's links and things like that available with all that type of stuff. But we got my main man, Tunnel Runner, in the building. So I'm gonna let Tunnel Runner get the mic. Do what you do with it, Tunnel Runner. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, sir. And this is where Latina women shine, because Latina women are famous for taking hardworking, successful men. They don't care if you're a plumber. They don't care if you selling fruit. They don't care. As long as you making a little money and successful, they're down with it. Matter of fact, some of them even like a hardworking black man.
Okay.
You know. So they very, though, for a lot of guys, they need to look at that because they do not look at the status of what job you got. They just look to make sure that you successful.
Now I'm gonna say,
Although to be fair, there are no shortage of Latinas on OF and IG. Just
Yeah,
to keep it
exactly.
all in balance.
They've been Americanized. Not to get
So they right, exactly.
yeah. Now I'm gonna say, yeah,
coming to a station soon. There you got to, hey, things are changing all the time.
yeah. Now,
But they
now
have a reputation. They have a reputation.
Now, Uru say he ain't religious, but basically what he just said, all have fallen short of the glory of God. That's what he said.
Indeed. Amen. Amen.
Hallelujah.
all right. Now, when it comes down to it, the sad part to me is that the men don't recognize how dangerous certain things said are. Okay, because again, y'all, I believe they gave a certain kind of response that would fit most black men. We will hear a woman say something, and then we will kill ourselves trying to fit into her perspective of how the world should go. And honestly, for a woman that won't do anything for you, you sound just as intelligent as an adult trying to fit into the world how a kid think the world should go. And I don't know if y'all ever seen them, but there are parents out there who literally have their child dictate their life. And they try to fit whatever their child think they should do. Child want this particular thing to happen, they try to do it. The child wants the parents to do X, Y, and Z, they try to do it. The child wants permission to do ridiculous stuff, and they give it to them. And they don't seem like successful parents. Okay. And when their children grow up, a lot of times their children die early. The ones I know about, the children die early. They get involved in things and boom, next thing you know, they dead. It could be something as simple as drinking and driving because they've always been able to dictate to their parents how they're going to live their life. So, unfortunately, they get cut down early. Or they do a lot of silly stuff or go to places that they have no business going to. Now, I normally see this amongst, I'm going to say white children. I'm going to be honest about it. I see it among a lot of white children. A white child is able to dictate to his parent what they want to do. And then some of them, they'll go mess around and get killed in the hood. Why? Because they want to go see what the hood about. They ain't got no business in the hood. They ain't going to buy no drugs in the hood. They literally just go in there to start trouble. And sometimes if you come and bring too much heat to a place, they're going to take you out. It just is what it is. They were never really parented, And this is basically the same thing, the same type of message I'm hearing from this woman. And the woman keeps it available that I can disrespect you at any given moment, because when she can say, I'm going to give you all these parameters, but then also say the parameter don't fit at the moment because I don't like how it sounds right now, that means she's inviting you into chaos. Now shout out to Landon. He says, falling short with boxes, falling short with boxes open. And I think y'all know what he means by saying boxes open. Okay. And for a woman to tell you, well, see, this is the thing. You're not in the right position. And for a man to say, well, what about a plumber? A plumber was a very good example for them to use. They at least got that right. They gave a very good example. And what she say, well, that job, I don't know about that because he dealing with stuff I don't want him to deal with. So now she gonna give you these strict parameters about how you got to be able to live your life. They give an example of someone who can live that life. And then she say, well, you know what? But your job ain't cool enough. So not only do you must fit into these stupid parameters, you can only fit into these stupid parameters in certain positions. And y'all, I'm not going to lie. When I heard the fact that she couldn't catch on that a doctor has a boss, they said a doctor who works at a doctor don't just work for one person. Do you know anything about hospitals? If you cannot figure out doctors, if you work at a hospital, you got a boss.
No, the bad part was she said she can't mess with a man who can take orders. This is why they're on TikTok complaining about men, because this is the men that they deal with. Niggas who have no structure, niggas who have no morals, niggas who have no standards. This is what and then we look at it like, oh, these bitches is messing with the lowest of the lowest of the low.
Yes.
Just because he got on polo.
Nigga, Shark got the Holy Ghost today. He preaching up in here.
Well, I definitely wanted to highlight the fact that you're talking about a person who does not have critical thinking skills or don't have, she's not great at critical thinking. Because when you literally mention a guy who works at a hospital, who happens to be a doctor, for you to believe that he doesn't have a boss kind of puts you in idiot status.
But her point. See, the truth of things don't matter. What matters is he's a doctor. Remember, I said earlier, they don't just want your money. Meg Thee Stallion didn't just want Klay Thompson's money. There are other rich guys, a lot less famous, but rich guys that Meg Thee Stallion probably could glom onto. Lori Harvey, she didn't just want Michael B. Jordan's money. They want your status. That's why Tina Turner kept Turner, the last name
Ike
Turner,
Turner's name.
long after she left Ike.
Yep.
She wants that status. They'll all. You notice how the women, when they are married to a very rich and famous and well-known man, well after they have left that man, they will keep that last name. Bianca Jagger divorced Mick Jagger, what, in like the 70s? Her name is still Bianca Jagger.
So you giving that up.
You know, so they don't just want your money. In fact, very often, what they want more is your status. And that's why they will take a doctor who makes 300 grand a year over a plumber who makes half a million a year.
This proves the point that Roger was making yesterday. They have no value outside of men other than childbearing. They have none, and they know it.
Well, I mean, that truly is where their real value is. Um, Not saying women can't do stuff that they want to do, but their value to a society is what you can do effectively for a man. Because if you show up to a man trying to give a man the things that men have to give for themselves, you're not adding any value because you haven't given it to him. Now, don't tell me about your house that you ain't gonna give to me. Now, if you're gonna give me the house, take your name off of it, put my name on. Yeah, now you giving me some value because now you gave me a house.
But
But if you ain't gonna get a house to me, you might as well not even bring it up.
let me reiterate: the greatest value a woman can achieve is being a wife and a mother of children. That's where she's going to gain her greatest value. And the greater the man, the greater her value. It's just a simple truth. Just a
And,
simple truth.
and they do notice because women are also quick to flaunt their husbands around too. If a woman's married to a somebody, she quick to let you know she married to a somebody. Okay, and that's real talk. And he don't gotta be famous. Let you work any job, and the owner's wife come in there. She know how to let you know I'm the owner's wife.
Yep.
Okay, that's real
Roger,
talk.
Roger. Muhammad Ali's second wife was just on the internet. She was only married to the man for 4 years, was married to another man for 50 years. This 60-year-old woman is on the internet talking about Muhammad Ali. For don't mention anything about the second man, the man that married her for 50 years. And she was only married for him 4 years, but she's still talking about Muhammad Ali and still wearing his name.
Yep.
What
Lori,
and
Lori Pippen. Lori
that
Pippen.
yeah, that tells you women understand the value of that name and what that position is. I don't care if you work for a chicken shack. Let the wife of the chicken shack owner walk in there. She quick to let you know. No, I'm Mrs. Richardson. Okay, you know how you work for Mr. Richardson. Well, I'm Mrs. Richardson. You know she gonna want you. She gonna want that status on her immediately. So they do know what they're doing. A lot of times we don't think they know what they're saying, but I'm gonna tell y'all, for women to manipulate the world, which is what they do, they try to get the world, they try to get things out the world, and they try to get it through as little effort as possible for themselves and get men to do it for them. In order to manipulate the world, you got to have some understanding of it. See, we quick to be like, oh, the women don't get it. They get it, and a lot of times they get it better than you because it's a game they're playing through all waking hours. Okay, all waking hours.
But also understand if it, but to kind of broaden the point you're making, you got to understand the status thing to win. Because if I get part of your status, it raises my status. Yes, uh, obviously, I'm at a higher level now. Well, what happens when I'm at this higher level? Now I have styling and manipulation capability and even rulership over many other women. Now I can sell shit to women they ain't got no business buying. I can write books. I can tell them bullshit. Aisha Curry, anyone. I can say all kinds of dumb shit and people will listen to it and embrace it and buy some non cooking ass cookbooks because of the status of my man. So when I raise my status, And if I'm really slick about it, I can raise my status to such a degree off this man that then I can dump that man because I can take his resources and the higher profile that I've gotten from being with that man and leverage that into some shit altogether separate from him.
Yeah, that's
That's
real
the
talk.
play.
Yep. Yep.
Now I'm gonna say shout out to No Placeholder who he picked up on something I definitely was gonna say something about. Now, now he's quoting basically what they were saying in the video. If I ask you to get a glass of water and you get it, I don't respect you. So what you want him to tell you to get it yourself? Nope. So what you want? See, her idea of no, he got to be a boss so he don't take orders. Well, I mean, getting a person a cup of water is a very simple order, but she don't want the man to tell her you got to get it yourself. So she want him to be a boss that tells all these people what to do. But if he asks her for a glass of water,
She ain't
now
doing
he's
nothing.
going too far. And I hope everybody catch that. Okay,
Yeah.
he can be a boss and tell everybody else what to do, but to ask her to go get a glass of water is too far. Or to tell her no, he ain't going to get no glass of water for her. Now he wrong. So what kind of boss she want that don't want to give her a glass of water? What kind of boss she looking for? Because if you want a man that's telling everybody what to do, why is he getting you a glass of? Why you even ask?
And how useless are you if you can't get the bosses of bosses a glass of water? How useless are you? What value are you to me? If you can't give me water, why would I want you to have and raise my children? Why would I want you to keep my house and trust you with secrets about personal and or business? If I can't trust you to give me a glass of water, you shouldn't be anywhere around me.
So I got to go out into the world. I got to have my own business, but it can't just be a business on paper. I have to be successful enough that anytime she want to go on vacation, I can just take her. But even though I create that much success for myself, where I can pay for me, her, heck, any children we have, and I can just dip out of town at a moment's notice without checking in with anybody, but I can't get a glass of water out of her. I mean, do y'all hear how crazy that is? I got to be
Yep.
that successful, but I can't even get a glass of water out of her. Now, shout out to
Well,
Black.
I mean,
Go ahead. Before I read the super chat, go ahead.
the vacation thing is crazy because if you know anything about hard driving professionals and entrepreneurs, hell, a doctor might go 10 years without taking a vacation. Easily. Easily. Do you know how many hours a good doctor will work in a week? Minimum 70. Very often 80 plus. So even just your whole understanding about people and what they have to do to earn a living and what their profession demands of them, this is childlike thinking and talking. And I'm telling you, if there's ever any reform of the black community, y'all gonna have to come down real hard on who y'all let get on the internet. Y'all gonna have to come down real
Man,
hard on
I'm telling
it, like real hard.
All right, let me get these super chats. Shout out to Bad Black Gamer. He say the best advice for listening to women is don't. Now, I'm gonna say that's gonna hold up in a lot of cases. I mean, real talk. I won't say every case, but a lot of cases, this gonna hold up. Real talk. Okay. And also shout out to Bad Black Gamer again. He says women lie to mirror with makeup. The women lie to the mirror every day with makeup. Okay. So, and I'm gonna say, yeah. and they lie so much they're comfortable with the lie because they start believing they look as good as they do with the makeup and forget they not that person. They do forget they're not that person. And I'm gonna say yes, a doctor has to go through a lot of arrangements to take a vacation. Why? Because he has patients that need him. And patients just don't go to any random doctor. There's a reason that people keep using the same doctors over and over and over again because they build a rapport with that particular doctor. They have an understanding with that particular doctor. So yes, people don't just, even doctors don't just go on vacation and we finna leave town for we're gonna go to a month to the Poconos and we ain't gonna notify nobody. We ain't gonna tell nobody nothing. They just gonna see me when we get back.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? If you run
I
any
mean,
kind of business, go ahead.
it could
Go
be
ahead.
so bad in the medical profession in particular that as a part of like partnerships or associations or uh, their relationships with hospitals and clinics and whatever, as a part of their contracting, they will have at times will have forced vacationing criteria. It will be a contractual requirement. That's just how bad it can be because the dilemma of being a good doctor is you're going to attract every day you're attracting more patients because people are referring people to you. Look, oh, he really helped me. He saved my son or whatever. That's like attracting literally thousands of people to you who ever get wind of that news. And so this notion of a professional, a hard, very successful, hard earning, hard driving professional being able to, oh, I want to take a cruise. I just want to, travel. That don't happen. That don't happen. It's childish thinking.
Mm-hmm. And you can apply that to any business because if you get a corner store off the ground, let's just say you get a corner store off the ground. But see, the woman don't want to help you build up that corner store. She want to come after everything taken care of. Do you know how much time, money, and energy you got to put in to get a corner store off the ground? Which sounds simple. You put a store there, it's a corner store, people gonna automatically come. You know how much effort you're gonna have to and how much money you got to spend just to keep the store stocked? And what are you gonna do until you can afford employees? You know how many days in a row that you about to work? Because a lot of people don't think about it. Opening a business sometimes require you to work at least 1,000 days straight. And people may say, oh, now you're being ridiculous. No, I'm not. 1,000 days. It's going to take you about 3 years to do 1,000 days. If you're going to get a successful business off the ground, sometimes it's going to take at least 1,000 days straight. Now, hopefully, ain't nobody working that hard. But being realistic, if you ain't got a bunch of money and you ain't got a bunch of backers already, it's going to take you about 1,000 days to get it off the ground yourself. And that's just real talk. Ask some people who started something from scratch how many days in work they had to do it when they first started something. You can forget about weekends off. That ain't how the world works when you're trying to build a successful business. Just is what it is. Now, I'm gonna say technology can help a little bit to take a little pressure off, but it's still a lot of stuff that you're gonna have to work day in, day out to get it done. And the thing is, she don't even respect the work. So it's not about the fact that you're willing to put work in to get into a position that she would quote unquote want to be around. And then the only thing she wants to do when she gets around it is to take the money that you earn and throw it away. So I got to work day and night so I can get with a woman who wants to throw my money away. How is that supposed to sound attractive?
No, I would not want gonna.
And shout out to LS Active. Appreciate you, my brother. He said if she was being real, she would snub the doctor as well. But she know blue collar bashing is socially acceptable to a lot of women and chat chasers. You know, LS Active, I'm gonna say no. I think she was
No,
being real
she
because
would never. She would
go
never
ahead.
bash a doctor. Not ever. Not ever bash a doctor. Everywhere she goes, she's the wife of a doctor. She would never bash a doctor. No. Even if she hates that doctor, even if she tries to cheat on that doctor, the status of him being a physician and everywhere they go, people know she's married to this surgeon or whatever. No, she wouldn't do that. No, I disagree.
And I'm gonna say in America, if we're realistic, the two jobs with the most status is doctor and lawyer. Okay. Now there's other jobs that pay more money, and you'll think about them from a secondary standpoint. Playing in the NBA is a better job from a lot of people's perspective. But when people think about good jobs, we think doctor and lawyer. That's how we've been trained in America. So I don't think she would come at them regardless. But I also don't believe she would do the math that it takes to for a person to get something like that off the ground, especially one that has the ability to work for themselves. Because she don't even get if the guy work at the hospital, he got a boss. She hadn't figured that out. She didn't have enough critical thinking available to her at the time to even figure out the guy who works at the hospital has a boss. The guy who doesn't have the boss is the guy with his own practice. But she don't want to help you build a practice. She want to come there when the practice is already good to go. And what a lot of people never really think about is when you a doctor that has your own practice, how do you go on vacation? Because who's treating the patients when you spend 2 weeks and you go on to Cancun for 2 weeks? Who gonna treat the patients then? Because it's your practice. Now, we got another guest coming in. I'm gonna let him get his opening statement immediately. My main man, the one, the only, the nameless protagonist is here, and you have the mic, sir. Go right ahead.
To the chat and the instructors on the panel. Os.
My bad, I'm late with it. My fault.
It's all good. I only have just a few minutes here. I wanted to leave two terms with you that I think will be good for you to explore and good to examine in the playback. Number one, this idea of a domestication fantasy. I think that is the origins of what we're seeing as it relates to this idea of getting someone who's high powered, has all of this potential and capability, that can go out in the world and dominate it. And at the same time, all rules of domination apply to everyone and everything on planet Earth except her. This is literally a domestication fantasy that is a known literary trope and has been thoroughly examined all throughout evolutionary psychology, to the point where the whole idea of the Beauty and the Beast, why things like werewolf stories and vampire stories are number one amongst literary consumers that are female. There's an entire submarket that's tied to that. Their whole wiring is based on that. So a lot of times when we hear these conversations, this is the operating system that's running in the background. I think it would be a great service to not only remember, but take a look at that, and you can see how this overlay plays out into other areas in regular everyday life. The second point, and I'll take my leave after this, I want to remind people that there's such thing as economic capital and social capital. And when it comes to this preference of job, if you take somebody who has $150 worth of a salary, $100,000 worth of debt, but they're a lawyer, they're going to have more of a social credit than a plumber that makes $170,000 with no debt. Yes, there is a economic capital piece, but if the difference is not staggering enough to change someone's lifestyle, even if the capital is at a point where there's debt that's owed, there is a social capital piece that is used as currency to purchase value and social standing down the line, which for most women, they're hardwired to see that as almost a first and foremost precedent. And as Uru mentioned and started to really go into detail earlier, it can go so far in these parasocial environments to where as long as they can attach some badge, some symbol of status to their name, and it be done through either marriage or sex, it's something that they are able to take and transmute into money, status, and power down the line. And when you get into the differences between male and female socialization, you can see that they're wired for these kinds of things. That's why reputation is a vector that asymmetrically and disproportionately is important, but mastered by women.
All right. Shout out to you, Nameless, for that. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks, Nameless.
Hey, thanks, Nameless.
You know,
Hey, Nameless, before you go, let me ask you something.
he gone that
He slid
fast.
out.
He just, that
That quick.
fast. You got to
You
get it in quick.
gotta be quick with Nameless. You gotta be quick with Nameless.
When
In
he
and out,
say he
man.
ain't
He's
got a lot
like
of
a
time, he don't be
magician.
That man
playing.
like a ghost.
He can come
That
in
man like a ghost.
and create magic and disappear.
He hit you with that Batman smoke
That
bomb.
ninja right there, boy. He went off into smoke.
Yeah. When he say he ain't got a lot of time, he don't be playing. He don't be playing. He gonna swing that sword and get on up out of here. And shout out to LS Active. He says, I know she wouldn't disrespect the doctor, but she don't respect doctors if she has an issue with having a boss. And you are absolutely correct. And I think this is where men have to remember a lot of women don't have no idea what they're talking about. Because she don't want to be with somebody with a boss, but she cool with the doctor at the hospital.
Wait a minute. Let's be careful about the words we're using here, because we're using the word respect. Now, wanting a doctor or preferring a doctor don't necessarily mean she respects anybody. You know what I mean? So let's be careful about what verbs we intend to use. Yes, she would prefer to have a doctor, but his status, she may hate that doctor. She may loathe that doctor. She may cheat on that doctor, try to take his money from him. She might not have any real respect for him. But his status as a physician has, for her purposes, and her thought processes, her purposes, has value. And in the world, certainly in certain circles, when people hear doctor such and such, people tend to perk up a little bit. He's a doctor. Wow. He's a surgeon. Wow. So, and they know that. They know the power of status and how that can manipulate and influence other people. So it's not about her respecting the doctor. It's about the utility, the greater utility she thinks that doctor wields by virtue of his status as a physician.
Well put, Uru.
Now I'm gonna say, and my bad, I was talking with the mute button on. I'm gonna say, when it comes down to it, she don't respect men, period. Okay. if I listen to what she's saying, she don't have no respect for men. She thinks about what a man can get for her. The only thing she respects is what she can get out of a situation. She talked purely like a woman who just wants certain things out of a situation, which is why she made the distinction even when they brought up the plumber. I can't get what I want out the plumber. He may have the money, but see, she just didn't come out and flat out say it. He don't have the status. Because I can't brag to my friends that I'm dating the plumber.
Exactly.
Roger, she respects
well,
men.
Because
she just don't
notice
respect the type of men we respect.
Well, I don't know if she respects any man, but on the plumber thing, she made a point of saying, "I don't want to be with somebody who's in the shitter all day." That's a status thing. She specifically said that. I don't want to be with somebody who's got shit on them all day. That's a status thing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, to me, that sounds like she don't respect any man, because for her, the man is only about what she can get out of him. The man don't even matter the way she talks. What can I get out of him? If he doesn't transfer to me, it doesn't make a difference.
Roger, she respect the niggas with coke underneath their fingernails, with a drug selling sentence. That's what she respects. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She said all of that without saying that.
You know what? I'm pretty
Okay,
sure she would.
but can you really? You say she respect those men, but we all know that those are marked men.
But we're not talking about what we
Those are
know. We
men
talking
who
about
going. No, but what
we
I
talk.
no, she know they're marked men. Don't nobody
Yeah, she
know
do.
the short termness of that kind of life than the hoe that's riding next to him. And you know she know it because she done been through 2, 3, 4, 5 niggas in a given year who been either deaded or in prison.
And if the
So
niggas
she
wasn't
know
dead or in prison, she wouldn't be
that's a
single.
short time thing.
No, she do know it. I'm definitely not going to disagree with you saying she don't know it. She don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that they
Well,
literally
I'm not,
telling
the
you.
point I'm making is she don't have any more, in my view, she don't have any more respect for that drug dealer than she has for the plumber or the doctor or whatever. These women don't really respect any man. It's just to what they can use that man for. That's the
Yep.
only thing that matters to them.
And that's where I was gonna go with it. I don't think she respects any man because for them it's just about an ends to a means. What am I gonna get out the deal? She don't respect the drug dealer because he's just a man to her. And at the end of the day, if he can provide her with status, he's good for now. Now, if he's shot and killed tomorrow, so what? You know, we got a famous case about that where, um, according to the reports, Steve Harvey's wife, I can't think of her name right now, but Steve Harvey's wife was with a man who was a drug dealer, some sizable drug dealer. And when he went down, she just started having sex with his cousin. That's not respect. That is who I can get
Yeah,
to
right,
next. You know?
right.
So I don't believe those women respect those men either. And that's just real talk. They just use them to get what they can get out of them. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think those
Yeah.
brothers actually paid for some services with them. And afterwards, they were like, "Oh, you want to come talk on the show? Oh, cool."
Well,
Yeah.
look, I mean, no, hey, go on my show. Go on my show. I market you to a bunch of sucker dudes that you can sell your OF to and all that. And yeah, I mean, if we can pull this two man, if we can pull this 2 man or whatever, hey, it's an even trade.
Look, baby, you ain't even got to do much. You ain't even got to do much. Just come to my platform. We gonna have a
It
we
ain't.
gonna
Hey, as Snoop Dogg famously said,
Hey, hey,
it
hey,
ain't no
they say
fun
it
if the
ain't tricking
homies
if you
can't
got it.
have.
They
yeah.
say it ain't tricking
It
if
ain't
you
no
got it.
fun if the homies can't have none. Yeah,
We'll give you a whole 2 hours. Now I don't know what type of time
yeah,
that he actually got. I'm just cracking jokes
Yeah.
here. Baby, we'll put you on for a couple of hours. All you gotta do is go to me, you and the home where we go in the back, we do our thing, you know. You got 2 hours, baby. Airtime. 2 hours of airtime. To work your magic, you know. And
Yeah.
that type of stuff
Yeah.
is gonna happen. Let's keep that real. That type of stuff is gonna happen. Because the men they
yeah.
trying to get stuff too, but I'm gonna say I was just disappointed in them because I do believe they represent how a lot of men would think about this thing she said, and unfortunately, a lot of
Yeah.
men would pay too much attention to her, and just won't write her off as being an idiot.
You
You
hear
know,
what Ti was telling them, right? You hear what Ti was telling them, right? You hear
you
what he
mean
was telling them, right?
it ain't tricking if you got it thing?
Hey,
I mean,
say
my
my
thing
chick can
is,
have what she want.
I like Ti music. I like Ti a whole lot. But even when he said the line, I understood where he was saying the line from. You know, at the end of the day, men try to say stuff to put themselves in better position against other men. So to say it ain't tricking and you got it, and he got a record deal, he blowing up on the charts, that's a whole different position than some regular everyday average Joe. So he trying to take advantage of his particular situation at that particular time. And unfortunately, a lot of men don't think about stuff that deep. You know, I hear what you're saying, bro, but in reality, I cannot trick if I don't have it.
There was about a 10-year period where all niggas was doing was marketing tricks. I'm in love with a stripper. All this getting low, everybody popping bottles and throwing up bands to make you dance. You niggas was tricking for about a 10-year period in hip hop, man. At least 10 years.
Well, to
And
correct you,
everybody was
Uru, they
partying to
still
that shit.
doing it. They still doing it. You just can't understand the language, the fucking words, because they mumbling, but they
Oh yeah,
still
you're
doing
probably
it.
right. Because I done understood hip hop for about 10 years now, so you're probably right about that. You're probably right about that. Yeah. But I mean that became a thing. I mean, it went from like, Dre and them, they were like specifically about we don't love these hoes to we gonna trick on these hoes. I mean, the whole ethics of hip hop changed.
Somebody told them these hoes like it when y'all say y'all gonna trick, and next thing you know, black men we train to whatever these broads want. That's what we want to give them. So that internal
And then
training just kicks in.
you did so much of it that then now the strippers started becoming rappers.
They ain't careful, they gonna rap them out
So
of a
you
job.
niggas you Negroes created the Meg Thee Stallions and the Cardi B's. Y'all created them. You created them.
Yup. All these bad bitches.
Like I said, they not careful. These strippers gonna rap them out of a job. Yeah, on the real talk. Cause
Well,
see,
it seemed like lately all the biggest rap stars lately are current or former strippers. That's what it seemed like now.
and the women love supporting the other women rappers. So I'm just saying, you know, they making noise. You know, some of the biggest people in the game right now is female. They making noise because the
Yeah.
women want to support another woman. It just is what it is. So
Negroes paving the way for it, though. Negroes are definitely paving the way for it.
I think you don't pay the way for the person to replace you. That's just bad business. That's
You
bad
know
business.
what? I think we should be thankful to this woman because what happens is the life is funny. People rise up in social media these days and they become famous, but they are avatars for regular people. She's an avatar for what we're dealing with in regular life on a regular basis with regular women. Regular women actually think like this, but she said it out loud. She let you see it live. Yeah, this is what we think about you niggas. If you niggas got jobs, we don't want to deal with you. Just like Shark was saying, they want disreputable men that have all of this access to disposable money in their time, and they got all kinds of time for foolishness. This is what they want.
Yeah, and she said it. You so right, man. She literally said on that show, they asked her the question, would you rather be the side chick of a famous athlete or the wife of a plumber? That's what they asked this woman, bro. And she basically said, I would rather be the side chick of a famous athlete.
I was appalled that she said that's a tough question.
Man, she just basically said she'd rather be the side chick of a famous athlete than a wife of a plumber.
You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If I ain't know no better, I would think that she was behind the laws that changed back in the day when drug dealers was using their money to, wash it clean. Oh, I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna buy a business. Not. If I ain't know no better, I would think she was behind the changing of those laws to make sure the drug dealers had all that money that they couldn't really buy nothing with. I would think she was behind that. Make sure these niggas got a trick on me because they ain't got nothing better to do with their money because they can't go buy nothing. So therefore, they must trick on me.
They gotta clean it through me.
Yeah, if I ain't know no better, I'm telling you. But we got a couple more guests that came up, so I'm gonna go ahead and let them get the mic. My main man Jado was in the building, so I'm gonna give it to him, and we'll let Usual Business get in right after. Jado, you got it, my brother. You got it. Jado, we don't hear you, brother. You on mute. Okay. I seen you come off mute and hit mute again. You off mute now. Do y'all hear Jado? Because I don't.
Nope. J-Do's having some technical difficulties.
No, we don't hear you, Jado. You might have to come back, bro.
Yeah, reset your phone, Jado. Reset your phone. Usual
Man, go on to the Ugandan prince.
You got it, Usual. Go ahead.
There you go with the bullshit.
Big booty Ugandan for all my goddamn people, bro. I stand on it from here to the day I die. Big booty Ugandans for everybody, bro. I'm gonna say two things real quick. I think at least on this one, what it was like a previous conversation when we said about a few things. At least when it came to the rap game, right? I don't think the rap game necessarily we should be as harshly as we said about the local or the current rap game, because the current rap game is not black male culture, bro. This is quote unquote Jewish culture. This is black female culture, hoe culture, everything that black men necessarily do not actually stand for as a whole. I really truly believe that. Because I don't really see these quote unquote some of these things in actual real life like that. Most black men is actually trying to keep their money in their pockets necessarily and live the best life that they can. I personally have never saw any black man tell a woman go out there and shake your ass to be a hoe and think that's gonna make you a better woman or a better wife. These are, I think, these consequences of the environment of being in a feminist, maybe a white supremacist environment. So I think we should be a little bit more graceful with that part. And when it comes to black women, quote unquote, just choosing bad dudes, I mean, they are the anti-life equation, bro. So I don't know what y'all expect from Dark Side Little Cousin. I don't know what y'all. I mean, she got a bonnet on and everything, though. So I don't know what y'all be expecting from Dark Side Cousin and shit. So it is what it is, man. All I got to say is big booty Ugandans for everybody, bro. See what I'm saying? Colombians for everybody. Was it Brazilians for everybody? And I'm out.
Yeah.
Dark Side Little Cousin.
But, you make a valid point about how we should be careful about how we interpret or the prevalence of what we see in social media in relation to what's really going on amongst black people. I mean, it is tough because in social media in particular, because it's so pervasive and so frequented and there's so many likes and views and whatever, so it may distort our perception of how persuasive some of what we see really is. That is something to consider, and something we need to develop some sort of calculus for, or some degree of sophistication. How do we judge what we're actually seeing? Like, how real and how much is what we see in true to life? So I think that's a valid point, and I think that is something we should grow in sophistication about. So
Right.
I appreciate that.
And I want to get these super chats in real fast, y'all. Then we're going to have Jado get the mic. We got Red Pill. Well, we got AL then came up too, so we'll give it to him. And we also got Red Pill Sleeper Cell in the building as well. So shout out to Bruce on Wayne. He said, nameless protagonist tax. Woo! Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. We also had a text from, we had a super chat from Inspired Truth Broadcast. He says domestication fantasy, like maybe this was supposed to be do the right thing in GOT. I guess that's what they were supposed to mean. But sometimes, they can fiddle with your stuff, autocorrects and all that.
Let me explain what this is.
Okay.
He's referring to some characters. First of all, GOT means Game of Thrones.
Okay.
The Dothraki is a population of people in the Game of Thrones legend. There's these sort of wild. They're kind of like maybe kind of a bastardization of sort of Native American warriors, or at least the way white people depict Native Americans, kind of wild and fierce and horse riding, barbarians sort of thing. And the whole, in particular, the leader of the Dothraki marries the dragon queen, or at least this is before she's the dragon queen. Khal Drogo, played somewhat famously by Jason Momoa. Momoa is a pretty interesting character if you watch it. Wasn't in the series very long, unfortunately, but was an interesting character. And the whole point was he was this big, strong, powerful leader, fierce man, and whatever. And her love and her beauty and her grace domesticated this fierce, big, powerful warrior. So that is an apt analogy that is being used there by Inspirational Truth. It is an example of what Nameless described, a phenomenon, or at least a fictional depiction of the phenomenon that Nameless described.
So I'm gonna say shout out to all the Game of Thrones watchers. I've never watched Game of Thrones, but I know a lot of people was into Game of Thrones.
Don't say that. Don't say that live ever again in life.
Hey, bro. I can't go with a. I keep it real over here, brother. We don't do the false narrative. I've never watched Game of Thrones. Okay.
I mean, the first 6 seasons might have been collectively best thing you might have seen on television. Collective. After that, it tailed off very badly.
I got a lot of respect for Game of Thrones because there's been so many people who told me how great it is. I'll say that. And to me, it shows the mark of a great product when you have random people steady telling you about this thing. And a lot of people, every time I talk to somebody who watched it, they would be shocked that I ain't never seen it. You ain't watching Game of Thrones? What's wrong with you?
That's like a black man, 40 years old, saying he ain't never seen Coming to America. It's an equivalent.
Interesting. I thought it was a bunch of white people on that show, but that's interesting. What is that? Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Let me get in the internet connection. I just need to say this.
Muffled.
Anyway, shout out to BGS. He just did something this morning. They won't listen, and it comes up everything that you're saying. He put up 2 clips of 2 women getting married. They couldn't utter the word obey for shit. If they're not obeying, we not married. Period, point blank. I'm under Old Testament law and Old Testament rule in life. I'm not trying to conform to none of this feminist, new age propaganda bullshit and shit no man either. I digress.
Right. Hold on. Before we go, Jado, shout out to Bad Black Gamer one more again. He said, Roger, go watch Game of Thrones and get your life right.
Thank you. That brother preaching. Thank you. Damn.
I would consider watching Game of Thrones, my brother. I would consider watching Game of Thrones. I've always heard great stuff about it. I was just busy when it was out, okay? But I've always heard great stuff about it.
That's your homework assignment, and we don't want no excuses.
All right.
He ain't gonna do it.
No, I might do it. I heard a lot of good stuff about it. So, but right now, Jado, you got the mic, my brother. You got the mic. Talk about whatever you like except Game of Thrones.
Hey, check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, you good
Yes,
now.
sir.
You good now.
Okay.
We got you.
Hey, hey, Roger, I haven't seen it either, brother, and it's on my to do list, but I haven't watched
Cut
it
his
either.
mic off. Cut his mic off. Cut his mic off.
Hey, I'm on your side, Roger. Hey, so, hey, what's up, everybody? Hope y'all doing good, man. 3 letters I just wanted to put out there, man. OBO, Oscar Bravo Oscar. 3 letters. You guys have seen these 3 letters in this particular sequence. You've all seen it when you're in the market to buy something, right? Or maybe sell something. And y'all know what it means. That's how women operate, man. And that's how this woman operates. She will take a plumber if that's the best offer. So she's just setting a high price. She's bluffing, man. And I think black men, we need to start calling these hoes on their bluff. You know what I'm saying? So she's putting something on the market. She's putting the price way out there, but she just didn't put the OBO on it. But it's always the OBO. You know what I'm saying? So if a big time person or whatever is going to spend the money on or whatever she's offering, she's absolutely going to take it. But if the market determines that she don't get that, she will take the best offer every time, all of them. So that's what it is. It's as simple as that. And my last thing with it is, man, I think we need to stop kikiing and laughing with these bras when they start saying stuff like this, man. Give them this
Yeah.
attention, man. You know, she talking about a female dick and all that stuff. That's ridiculous, man. And it's not funny, but I get it. It's supposed to be some entertaining show or whatever. But I think all of us as men,
Oh shit.
I think we
I
lost him.
don't hear Jado.
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
think we
about
I
in real
don't
lost
hear
him.
you,
life.
Jado.
The broad come. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now. We lost about
Okay.
20
Yeah.
seconds of you.
Oh
Brother.
damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just saying, man. As far as this kiki and the playing, man, and I know, and this goes for me and all men, man. And when a halfway attractive woman comes around, we start conceding and we start playing and giggling around with them. And I think we need to get out of it, talking about black men particularly. And I'll end right there. Thanks for having me up, Ross.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Okay, is that everybody?
No, I ain't
Yeah,
say
no.
nothing.
Red Pill Super said you got it.
Hey, what's up, Roger? What's up, panel? I'm kind of familiar with that lady, Blue Jasmine.
But man, don't be saying people's name on my. I don't
Sorry,
care about these hoes. I ain't
my bad.
promoting these hoes.
My bad,
No,
my
it's
bad.
cool. It's cool. It's not offensive. I'm just saying now for audience sake. Yeah, I don't care about these hoes, and I'm not gonna promote these hoes. So if you happen to recognize a hoe, because I didn't recognize her. If you recognize a hoe, I don't care about her. Don't promote her on my channel. It's that simple to me. Okay, but go ahead, brother. Say what you're gonna say.
She had got some fame a couple years ago when she made the stupid ass statement on if you date her and y'all separate, you have to pay her bills for 6 months, her written bills, so she get herself back up. And she's like a barnacle that attaches herself to a well. She's in part of a certain eco culture where it's fast money, and that's where she attached herself. And with the guys that agree with her, I kind of know them too. They are on other. You could, if you want to find out, you will see where they're from, and they're all part of that same environment. And that environment, that's what that creatures breed from. So, she's like that bright colored frog that be on the tree in the rainforest. So, if you get that analogy, you understand.
All right, and I want to say shout out to Landon. Appreciate you, Landon. Appreciate you big time. Real talk. Landon say, I never watched Game of Thrones either. Don't let them bully you, Roger.
That's why his ass ain't on the panel now. Blocking his ass too.
That's cold blooded. That's cold blooded. Now I might watch it. I still might watch. I watched stuff that came out years ago that I just never had a chance to watch. Now that we got streaming services, so I might watch it. And shout out to Bad Black Gamer. He said, "Chef, please take Landon, please take Landon and J-Lo soup." Y'all don't call on Chef for that, man. Don't call on Chef for that. It's cool, man. I ain't seen it, so I ain't saying it wasn't a good show. I did hear a lot of good stuff about it, but it is what it is. Now when it comes down to it, y'all, I'm gonna say this. Since Red Pill Supercell did recognize her, and she said something from a while back, because I remember something about that while back. What does that let me now know? She's a failure. Because if you got what you wanted, you ain't on somebody's podcast nowadays talking this stupid. So now that he done told me that, well, that allows me to put two and two together. So she's just a failed beggar at this point. Now, if you don't take life advice from a failed beggar, I mean, I don't know what to say. Look, I have said publicly, and I don't call people's names out, that there's a lot of people who do trash content out here. A lot of folks who do trash content because I see it. Now, my thing is, I'm not trying to hate on nobody who try to make some money for themselves. People could be in a situation where they can't get another job, or they need extra money because whatever job they got don't pay enough or whatever. So I ain't gonna just hate on people. But at the end of the day, if she famous for that, that means she's a failed beggar at this point. Because that was a while ago that was said. That was a good while ago. Probably a good 2-3 years ago. If my memory. So
like 4. It was like 4 years ago.
Well, if you've been begging for 4 years, it ain't worked. Maybe you need to try a new hustle of some kind, because that's a long time to beg. So if she, and I'm saying, because what I heard her say sound like a beggar now. So if she's been begging for 4 years, she probably need to get a job herself. Real talk.
And that's why, like, I argue with black people vigorously about calling hip hop our culture, because this is the culture of hip hop. And if you identify with that, then you saying like, oh, this is just how we do. And I always tell people like, nah, hip hop is a whole nother thing. Black people don't operate like this. Hip hop people do, and hip hop is all races of people. But black people don't operate like this. And we need to really get away far away from that stuff. Because even this podcast game now, going on now, that you see like them guys up there, those are failed hip hop artists, failed people from the hip hop culture. And this new podcast thing is hip hop all over again. It's just pushing horrible messages, self-destructive messages, interviewing old drug dealers who's been out the game and failed at it and all of that. So like he said, she's part of that whole dichotomy of that nonsense right there that they call the hip hop culture. And black people, that's not us. We black people, we not niggas.
All right. Now Rael has joined us, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him his opening statement. Rael, good to have you, brother. You got the mic.
Piece of the crown, a piece of the champ. I don't have an opening statement. I just want to go into what I want to say.
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
I'm gonna upset some brothers today, as I tend to do a lot. Okay, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people in this space know who Ron O'Neal is, PhD professor. And the other day he had a string that I believe was very enlightening and illuminating. And I think it was illuminating because it represents a recognition that even men of his particular background, somebody who has um, dedicated his pretty much his adult life to um, um, bringing about the knowledge of things that pertain to Black Americans and their culture, and his background and religion and religious history and religious institutions amongst Black people, which used to be at one point a big center of Black people's really existence, including their economic institutions. Many of the economic institutions were able to come through men congregating in their religious orders. And he was just basically like, Black American culture is absolutely finished. And what I surmise what he is saying is that there is such a divide between the political ethos amongst the females and the males. And it's irreconcilable, man. When you look at the political ethos of, let's say, Democrats, for example, they basically want Black men to be in a subservient position in their group dynamics. That's what they push for. All their policies are built around that. That's why Black families look the way they look. Just look at your family, for example. Most people, if you're honest with yourself, you would have to admit that in general, the men in your family do not run the family. They do not have the power and the control to actually lay down any authority in the family sphere. And I know a lot of the conversation really centers around Black people in the aggregate. And I think that's because it's easier to talk about the aggregate than the microcosm, than to actually be on the ground level to actually have to affect some change, because that's going to be difficult. If you sit there in your, and I say family loosely, I would probably say more like amongst your relatives, where in which you or no really truly masculine men are really raised up to lead the family, and you try to take hold of that family, you're not just going to have to worry about the females. Yeah, they're a major problem. But man, the people you're going to have to worry about the most is them weak dudes who identify more with being a female. They don't openly come out and say that they identify with being a female. But when you see who they defend, they typically ain't going to defend you if you're masculine. They're just not going to do it. They have accepted their lot in life because, to be honest, they are too scared to go out there and do something different. So they'll rather tuck their balls between their legs and isolate you. They'll rather tuck their balls and isolate you instead of really correcting because that's where it's going to happen at. There's not an organization out here that's going to change Black people. If it does not happen on a family level, it is not going to happen. And I'm sorry to say, man, because I've seen one dude recently, a few months ago, when he was talking bad about that Crockett chick, man. He got attacked by his female cousin. I think scratched him all in the face. He was bleeding. And this was his own cousin attacking him on his political views about this Black female candidate. So it shows you like the depths of which this party has been able to interject in between the relations between black men and black women, to the point that even in 2024, they were talking about, don't tell your husband if you're voting for her, or uh, you know, telling black men how to vote, and I mean, to the point that they were calling black men traitors if they didn't vote for this chick, man, in 2024, as far as Harris is concerned. So I'm saying the aggregate really is just a compounding of all of the broken families that exist. But really, where the work is really going to have to get done is going to have to get done on each individual level. And I don't think black men are really truly ready to really have that discussion amongst their families, because or their relatives, because if their relatives actually exist like that, because you're gonna come to the conclusion that you're gonna have to walk away from some people that you're related to. I mean, it's not like it's never happened before in human history, but what you constitute as black culture, first of all, even in business and branding, your brand is not just the positive things customers say about you. It's also the negative things. So culture is not just about being positive. It's all of the things that go into representing what is aspects of what your people do. So hip hop culture is just an aspect of black people's culture. And then there's an argument that people like myself make that say, okay, there's hip hop and then there's this other crap too. But art is one of those things that really show you aspects of people's culture. So that's why art is in a different category. But in terms of like overall culture, in terms of family, black people's family culture, it doesn't exist. If you tell me that the females are in charge of your culture, I'm going to say you don't have one. And the truth of the matter is, most black families are operated and controlled by some out of control lunatic female or females that even use males in the family to stunt the growth and development of the males in the family. So I'm until you address that, the aggregate is not going to change. Until you address that aspect of it, it is not going to change. If you're related to people who let females just go out there and they can just have babies and just be with whoever, and there's just no rules on what they're doing, you can't complain about the aggregate because you're not even doing your part in what you constitute as a family. You're not doing your part as men, because either you are in control and you got the authority to tell them they can't deal with certain dudes, or you don't have that authority and you need to vacate the premises and go start some new shit.
Well, I'm gonna say what we did, what's been highlighted today is exactly that. Because you got to think, a woman who says what this woman has presented, she come from some people too. Okay, she didn't just magically appear and say nonsense. But the issue is, we as men, we listen to the nonsense. Why do we care what women have to say when the women who are talking are not pro-black men? That is not an issue for someone to go out and solve. That is an issue every man got to solve for himself. There is no committee that's going to stop you from regarding what some woman who is not pro-black man says and your response to what she says. You got to do that for yourself, you know? And at the end of the day, you have to accept at some point that you actually are in charge. I've said time and time again. Now, I know I don't have footage of it now because I done lost a lot of channels saying the stuff that I say. But women done told us time and time again, well, you the man, you in charge. So why isn't everything but that? If I'm the man and I am in charge, guess what? That means I get to make the rules. So start telling people what to do.
Well,
Yeah.
we are in charge, but the thing is, we giving status to the wrong people with our authority. We authoritizing the wrong people. Like homeboy said, he know who the chick was, and I was gonna say because he probably followed her on Instagram, but then he was like, she made the comment and all that. But just think about how many times you like a big booty picture on Instagram. How many of these big booty chicks you following on Instagram? They not actresses. They not even an upcoming rapper. They just a chick with a fat old ass on Instagram. We are giving them this power, and like Uru was saying, they want your status. I think it didn't evolve to they want your soul.
Mm, man,
I agree with that.
some
I
Delilahs
agree
out
with
here,
that.
man. Modern day
Yeah,
Delilahs. Modern
I
day
mean,
Delilahs.
I think that is a real thing. I think that is a real thing. I think kind of ultimate. I mean, maybe that's the ultimate trajectory. Your money, your 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 status, your power, then your soul and your spirit. I guess. So yeah, I guess that that is a part of
Yeah,
the
yeah, pretty
ultimate
much. They collected souls. It's like
trajectory.
they they want your entire existence wrapped up into them,
But hold on.
and it's
See,
Well,
and it's a
you
slow
know,
death.
so social media, and particularly, yeah, I mean, the IG or whatever, it creates a terrible socio-ecological loop of sorts where you'll have a woman who looks a certain way or presents herself a certain way that taps into our id or our baser nature, like maybe this woman does
hmm
for a lot of men. So we'll watch her and we'll give her likes. Some cases, if there's some way of financial uh, remuneration, we'll even engage in that. So okay, so then she gets this following. She then begin to get the attention of higher status men, NBA players, actors, rappers, singers, whatever, which then fuels her popularity with other women. So then those other women support her and her messaging, Meg the Stallion kind of thing. And she becomes a kind of like a godlike figure for them. And then they support everything she does. And so any sort of messaging that she perpetuates, as crazy as it may be, instantly gains credibility because of this deformed social ecological loop that has been created that many of us, help to initiate. And
well,
we help
here,
to initiate it in
This
the
this
fashion in which Shark
this
alludes to.
this
We're
should
at
be
the
an
start of it
Well,
collectively.
this should this should be an immediate persona non grata with her. She should be shunned. She should be shunned really by every,
Yeah,
especially black man. Like she shouldn't be presented with a platform. She should be shunned, but it's not going to happen because somebody's going to be sexually attracted to her, and they're going to
yep,
all right.
exactly.
and they're going to take
Yep,
it up.
yep,
But she should be
But
yep.
shunned.
Jado, but Jado,
Hey,
if
what's up?
black men, if black if
All
J-
right.
Jado, if black men don't shun the Meg the Stallions that they look into, that they see that they're related to, what's the point?
Exactly.
See, that's really where
Yeah.
you get tested. You know what I'm saying? See, in the aggregate, like yeah, we see social media. Actually, my problem is not with Instagram and the hole that's on it because at least they're honest hoes.
Yeah.
At least they're honest. The real problem is
Well, but
well, hold on. When
no,
you meet the chick that's a
no,
PhD,
go.
for
Pardon.
example, I've been on campus before. You know what I'm saying? I've been on college campus. I've been on HBCU campus, and I've been on a PWI campus. And there is no change in the behavior. Okay,
Wait, but
they
Rahel, they
be
not
on
honest
they be on
hoes
some
on
hoes.
Instagram.
Hold on. What I'm saying is we got to learn how to separate the two. There's a difference between an honest hoe and a
Yeah.
dishonest one.
We
Okay,
yes.
Yeah,
there's
They
a
have
big
to make a
yeah.
difference.
choice. They have to
There's a
make a
big difference.
choice. They
See, the
have to
ones
make a
right,
we
the
have to
ones on
we have to
Instagram,
make them make a choice.
right?
They
Hold on.
have
What
to
I'm
be
saying
a
is, hold on. I'm saying because we keep conflating the two. The Instagram chick is not the one that's tricking you. When Future go on Instagram, he know exactly who he looking for. He know exactly who he want. He ain't tricked. He ain't dumb. He's going to them looking for those types of chicks. The ones that trick you are the ones with the masters, the bachelors, the PhD, the ones that's supposed to be good, but they're secretly wanting that lifestyle. They in public. Remember when the Freaknik documentary came out, or when they was talking about doing it. All these professional females was trying to push against it. Oh, we don't want that to come out. Oh no, we don't want that to come out. Oh no, we don't want that to come out. Because a lot of females, they didn't know there was a lot of dudes who
But
had footage of that.
Rael, it's a loop though, because
Yeah.
all those chicks in on those Freaknik videos were trying to be Lil Kim and Trina. See, it's a loop. You're right. It is those average women, but a lot of those average women were trying to be Foxy Brown. If I'm
I agree
dating
with you.
things correctly here. Yeah.
Hold on,
So
I agree
it's a
with you.
loop.
I agree with you
That's
to a
the
certain
point I'm
degree.
making. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying they all kind of feed on and build on each other.
Hold on. But here's the problem.
But
This is the problem, Uru. The problem is it's not that they don't know what they're doing is socially um, bad behavior. They know it is, and the reason why we know it, we know they know, is because they try to hide it a lot of times. In terms of the dishonest females, like I said before, the honest chick is not the problem. The honest hoe is not the problem because she's showing you what it is. But if your heart as a female makes you want to be like that, even though you raised in a good family, you have values and all of those things, those are the females who are always the ones that's complaining the most. And the reason why they're complaining the most is because they don't understand the energy and the power of whore energy. They think they're going to use sex to manipulate guys. If you can use sex to manipulate guys out of money, gifts, he's weak. Okay? And that's what they're really saying. They want you to be so weak for sex that you will compromise your integrity as a man. And when they can't get you to do that, they get upset and think there's something wrong with you. No, there's something wrong with you because that's not how men are built. If we see a sucker for love type nigga doing that stuff, what we say all the time, like, dude, you out here trying to pay for love. That's weak. Like a lot of these dudes that are get celebrated as being, oh, they're rich. Yeah, they're just a fool with a lot of money in their wallet because they're literally trying to buy it. Like when we saw Joy Taylor and that lawsuit from Fox come out, what we also saw was the type of dude, according to the lawsuit, she let smash. So if that's true, look at the dude. Look at the dude. And a lot of dudes will put her up on a pedestal, like, oh man, she fine. But I say all the time, that chick is one paycheck away from getting smashed by just a regular dude. She didn't care, according to the lawsuit. So if that's true, that shows you that a lot of men be putting a lot of females on a pedestal just because of looks. No, look at the behavior. Look at how she dressed. How you dress is how you want to be addressed. Don't come out here dressed like a hoe, but you want marriage. It don't work like that with men. And they know this. It's not like they don't know this. They're too busy just following the crowd. And if you so weak to follow the crowd as a grown woman, man, why would any man want to marry that? You can't even think for yourself.
Well, look, y'all. This is the thing. There's a lot of things that's going on, and I can't use my shows to focus on all the different things going on at the same time. I just kind of do one thing at a time. I'm the reason I'm doing the show because I understand one of our biggest problems, if not the biggest problem that we have as black men, is that we listen to women. When this woman said the stupidity that she said, the guys responded the way they did because they thought it was important. This is the average brother. If we need to be real with ourselves. Why are we listening? Why do we encourage other brothers to listen? Why do I care what a woman think who ain't trying to pay for nothing? This is a very fundamental thing in life that, to me, most black people haven't figured out yet. You pay the cost to be the
Yeah,
boss.
but you got to be honest about what's happening, Roger. I mean, you listen to the IG model because you want to fuck, nigga.
Yes,
You want to
that's
fuck.
we can never
Well,
take that
But
well,
away.
stop
that's
pretending. You can't
Yep.
take that out of the formula.
I said that from the very
And I,
beginning.
and
The
pervert.
reason why those
It's
dudes
gonna be
were
the
acting the way
20%.
they were acting, because they wanna lay up with her.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
look,
yeah, yeah. And it was
I,
most likely a deal. You know, they did lay up with her, and then she got to come on the show.
No,
That's
to be
how them
honest
dudes
with you,
operate.
that,
they probably did it. Because
look,
you don't act like that with a woman you already laid up with.
look. My thing is, I don't care whether they did or did. At the end of the day, there's always going to be a sexual attraction that men are going to have for women. That's not going to go anywhere. But your behavior is not supposed to act a certain way because it's there. You're supposed to be bigger than that. And that is up
So
to a
so
man.
so
You
so
have
you
to be
want
bigger than
you
that.
want the women.
Roger, Ro-
So you want the women to be more responsible than the men.
That's
That
not what
ain't
I'm saying
happening.
at all.
Is
I'm
that what
saying
you
as
want?
a what I'm
That's
saying as a
exactly what you're saying. That's
no,
exactly what you're saying.
that's not what I'm
You're
saying.
expecting her to behave a certain kind of way while they're supporting all her bullshit.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm literally saying I don't care how sexually attracted I am. She got to perform how on what I'm willing to deal with. She's not gonna empower me to do squat. So she really don't have an opinion that's worth listening to.
Well, you gotta train her million or whatever IG fans. That's fine for you that you're enlightened, but you gotta train all them niggas that probably buying her unwashed panties on the internet, for example.
Whoever got the traffic
You gotta
sound
deal
going in
with
the
them.
background, mute up. Whoever got the traffic sound going in the background, mute up. No.
Niggas in Fast and Furious.
Yeah. No, that's literally my point. That's literally my point of the show. One of the biggest mistakes we have as black men is that we're listening to women who are not
hey,
doing
hey,
squat to better us.
hey, Roger. Sexual attraction is a huge motivator for behavior. A huge motivator. It doesn't get much bigger than that.
I do
That
understand that.
dictates
There's a
behavior.
difference, but Jado, but there's a difference between sexual attraction and actually wanting to be with a woman. Okay, there's a big difference. Guys who are just sexually attracted to a woman but are not interested in being with her. Guess what? They're not going to do. They're not going to open up their hearts to those types of females because they only see them as a piece of meat. They only see
I
them
don't,
as that.
I
That's
don't
all they
know.
see them at. Well, hold
But
on.
but
I don't
but
know,
again,
Ryan. I don't
I
know if
said,
that's the truth, Ryan.
it's a
hold on, hold
vicious
on, hold on.
it's a
I
vicious
said
loop
men.
though.
Hold on. I didn't say boys. I said men for a reason. Men understand the difference between smashing a chick and seeing a chick that's a good woman that's worth loving. You're not going, a
But,
female is not going to, she'll get a man to open up his pockets for her. That's not the same thing as opening up your heart. Many men will spend money on a chick and not have no feelings for the chick whatsoever. So the problem is that there's so many weak dudes who think that the key
But
to getting to a woman on that level is opening up your pockets, being subservient to her.
Ryan, that's
Like
but
that's not
Ryan.
even
actually how
That's
you
the
those
do it.
ones who
dudes,
can do it.
even those dudes who will deal with her the way you describe, Rael, they're part of the corruption. We're all part of the corruption.
Yeah, that's what I
There's
was
a
just gonna
reason
say.
why
That's
our
what I was
great
just
great
gonna say.
grandmothers.
Yep.
There's a reason why Roger's family didn't allow him to listen to secular music, because once you start listening to Michael Jackson, eventually you're listening to niggas in the niggas with an attitude. I mean, my point is that it's an ecological issue that extends beyond the behavior of any particular group. Yeah, the female PhDs are corrupted, but they being corrupted by Trina. And Trina got corrupted by the fact that so many of us wanted to see Trina shake her ass.
Exactly.
So it's just a,
But
we're all a part of it. We're all a
but
part of it.
before Trina, it was nothing but these feminazi chicks saying who took away the stigma of giving up your virginity before marriage, children out of wedlock. Before then, there was a stigma, and if you decided to cross that line, your community isolated you. They called you
You're
a
not.
home wrecker type.
You're not.
You were held
Until
accountable. But hold
they
on, but the
stop.
difference hold on, but the difference is because Roger said men listen to women. No, men listen to hoes. When you talk about your mother and your mother-in-law and those, you listen to women. You did. That's a big difference. These dudes are not listening to those types of females, and the reason why they're not listening to those types of women is because they don't exist in their family. The females in your family are supposed to be the ones who vet females for you. It's I know this because I talk to African men. The women in their family, one of their biggest jobs is to vet. A lot of times their mothers and their grandmothers play matchmaker, and they set them up to meet females that they think are worthy of marrying them. They're not going to set their sons and nephews and male cousins to be railroaded by some thought chick. You can't do
All
that.
them females are one IG page away from being hoes too.
Oh yeah, I
Let's
mean,
be
but
real.
if they make that choice, they make that choice freely because they were raised the proper way. And if you go, because you're not going to be tested. Look, for example, we was around niggas who sold dope. We was around dudes who sold crack and all type of stuff. It was in our face. We had the opportunity to do it, but did many of us do it? No, we chose not to. We made a choice. Just like we made a choice not to be a criminal and not to be selling drugs, they can make a choice not to be a damn hoe. But if you choose to be a hoe, this is what's going to happen to you. In other groups of people, there is a penalty to being a hoe. It
Yeah,
is. The
but Rob,
problem is we don't exact no penalty. We let it happen, and we even let it happen to females that we're related to. Which is like, oh well, that's what she on, that's what she dealing with. Nah, you can't have that mentality. And if you can't speak up amongst the people that you're related to in terms of authority as men, because you have a right as men to decide who comes into your bloodline. If you don't have that authority and that power, man, this is a moot conversation. Because you basically are saying that the women get to basically destroy the bloodline with these janky ass niggas that they decide to deal with.
Look, look. This
well,
this
that's
is
what's
the thing,
happening.
y'all. In the there's a lot of things that's gonna have to get balanced and corrected over time. Okay, I'm simply saying one of our biggest problems, if not the biggest, because I believe it's actually the biggest problem we got, is that we're listening to them in the first place. What they say matters to us. Now, in my real life, the people who pay for stuff take precedent over the people who don't. Now, that started with my parents, but it makes sense. My parents loved me more than other people. So they actually fed me. They clothed me. They did stuff for me. They taught me as a child, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. Meaning, if you want to have an opinion, get yourself in position to pay for one. Don't just think people gonna follow you just because you say it. Maybe somebody will, but the reality is, if you want somebody to do what you want done, pay for it. So, in a relationship with a woman who is dead set on paying for nothing, why does anything she say count?
She
Why aren't you
she
dictating?
she is
She
paying.
has a
She is paying for it. She paying for it with her presence and her
yes.
pussy. And
She
if
has a
you think
different
her
currency.
presence and her pussy is valuable enough, that's all
You
that's necessary. Money ain't
Yeah,
the only form of remuneration.
Yeah,
and
right. There you
that's
go.
very
A,
true.
a
And
lot of
all
times
of us,
niggas try to say what they was raised around, man. That's just the facts, man. A lot of times niggas are trying to save something that they used to being around growing up. A lot of niggas are used to being around hoes. I'm sorry, it's the truth. If that's what you're used to being around, that's what you're going to orient towards. trying to save a hoe because you was raised around it. That's what you're
Yeah.
constellated by.
Look,
I wasn't raised around that. On my
what?
profile picture,
Wait,
that's
Oh,
my
hold
great
on.
grandparent.
wait,
Right.
So I
Hold
wasn't
on.
raised around it.
Cause you
wait a
are right.
minute.
But hold on. But
Wait.
this is the thing. This is the thing, y'all. You are a grown man. If you listen to me, you're a grown man. 9 times out of 10. Yes, a few women here and things like that. But most people are grown men. You determine what you take for payment. When you go to a store, they tell you we only take credit cards. We only take debit cards. Some people say we only take cash. When you're paying, you determine stuff, man. It just is what it is. You determine stuff. And sometimes your money ain't no good here.
It's a whole lot of suckers out here paying for shit and they ain't
Right.
determining nothing, man.
Thank
And
Roger.
you. Thank you.
Man,
What are you
I'm
talking
not
about?
Roger,
Thank
right,
you.
Roger,
I'm
if you
not
want that,
saying that ain't the truth. My thing is the truth needs to change. That's literally why I'm doing the show. The truth needs to change. If I'm the one paying, I'm doing the dictate. I don't
If
care
you
what she
don't,
think about it because she
No,
don't matter.
if you
no,
think her
well,
at, listen,
no.
please listen
that,
to me for a second. If you in your spirit, her presence, her ass, her, gawk skills is that valuable to you, then you will pay for it. You
Yes, you
will
will.
pay for it. It's
And
not.
Roger, if you
We're not
and
talking
Roger
about.
and
We're not
and
talking about money here. We're not talking about money here. We're talking about value. We're talking about
Value.
value.
Yes.
and if you want that product bad
Totally agree.
enough, let's say they say we only want cash, right? Guess what? You're gonna go run to the ATM. You're gonna find the
Yep.
nearest ATM if you really
Yeah,
want that product.
yeah.
And Jado, if she go,
A
if she,
lot
if
of
it only costs
ATM, a
$100,
lot of
but
late
he
night
about to pay
ATM runs.
$100 and
Yes, sir.
he
Yes.
about to pay $102.50 for that shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 It's a transaction fee. Yeah, it's a
But
transaction fee
Jado,
too.
but Jado,
I'm not
we
saying
come
y'all
from a we
wrong.
come.
I am gonna say you do have an option just to go to a different store,
Hold on,
but to
but
not shop at all. Whatever you want to play it out in your mind for the example, bro. I ain't coming to this store. I don't like what this store has, so I'm not coming. It's that simple. To me,
No, but
she's just a woman that's like a store that I don't want to go to.
you
She don't
gotta get.
matter to me at all.
But now you gotta. Now we at that level. We understand. Now we gotta get the store shut down. Remember that psychiatrist chick who was shitting on
Mhm.
black men, and everybody found out where she worked, and next thing you know, she was doing a video how she got fired, and she was like ready to
Yeah.
jump out the window. That is what
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
to do to all of the ones that we feel are bad influences and are out here saying stuff they don't need to be saying in public. Therefore, Rael doesn't have to check his niece because his niece didn't see the consequences of being like this.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say realistically
Not saying
speaking,
I
that his
agree.
niece is like that. I'm just giving an example, Rael.
No, no,
but
no. Hey,
realistically
I totally
speaking,
agree with what you're saying.
realistically speaking, an IG model, she ain't got nobody to report to. Unless you gonna call the cops and you
Nah,
can
them
catch unless you
No,
gonna call the cops
them
and you can
chicks,
catch her in the act selling her pussy, she gonna be able to be out there.
no, Roger,
them
no.
chicks got regular jobs.
Take all
Roger,
them,
don't
take
fall
all,
for the
yep,
trick.
regular jobs. Take all them followers away. The only thing a nigga should do is watch the video. Don't press a like. Don't put a fire sign in the comment. After a year of no attention, that whole shit will be crumbling.
Well, the thing is, before you get to that point, you first have to actually deal with guys, and we gotta actually spread the word that we're not even supposed to be valuing this type of stuff, which is what I'm actually doing. I'm showing a woman that no one should value. If you listen to her, there's no actual reason anybody should care about anything she's talking about. The problem is
But
we care about what she's
So
talking about.
then why do they listen to her then? Why do we care? Why do they care about her? Why do they care about what she
right.
has to say?
Because they want to
Obviously,
smash,
somebody
Guru.
cares
Because they
about
want
what
to
she has
smash.
to say.
She platform.
So
If she
I mean,
platform, they care.
we're kind of stuck in this. We're kind of stuck in this thing where you telling us what somebody shouldn't do, but there's no real clear plan about how to really get them out of that process. Because we talk a lot about what brothers shouldn't be doing, but yet these bitches still have hundreds of millions of followers.
Well, my thing is the first thing you have to make an assessment about what's going on in your own life. Is she bringing any value to me? We are trying to bring value to the women. The women should be trying to bring value to us. That's
Roger, you
a
think
fundamental thing that black men got wrong.
Hey, Roger, you think sexual access is valuable to men?
It can be.
Here we go. Here we
It
go.
is.
Roger.
It
That's the
is.
problem.
It
That's,
is.
that's the
It
problem.
is.
That's the problem.
It's up there with gold, brother. I don't know.
No.
It's up there with gold.
I'm gonna say it is, but by itself, that's not enough.
It's not, man.
Mm,
It's not, bro. It's not, bro. It's not.
The great Taj Mahal was built in honor not to the wife of the Sultan, to one of his concubines.
Ooh, stop it.
That's what the Taj Mahal was built for. Yes, probably considered most beautiful building ever created was built in honor of a hoe.
Hey, that's some real
hoe.
What? You know what? I won't
So
argue
Roger,
that. But
you really gotta be honest about what's going on here.
No. I'm totally trying to be honest, but I'm gonna say this: since I'm not a sultan, sex ain't enough. Now, maybe if I was a sultan, sex would be enough. But since I ain't no sultan, sex just ain't enough. I need more.
So Roger, remember that girl you bought the Subway sandwich for? You ain't getting no sex.
Yeah, and you know what? And you know what? And you know what? And you know what? That was a great opportunity for her. That was a great opportunity for her to improve her life. But what happened with her? She called me with a dumb request asking for $150 because she lost the ID. And what happened to her immediately after that? She got cut off. So I invested a sandwich to find out she's a waste of time. I'm cool with that.
But the sandwich costs money.
Roger,
the sandwich is
a negotiation. Just to be clear on the definition.
That was a negotiation.
Yeah, it was. She was trying to see where your head was at.
The ID was just the ID was a plot device.
No.
That was a plot device.
I get all that, and there's a lot of men who will continue to talk to a woman who did that, and they gonna understand even sometimes that it was a plot device. At the end of the day, for me, you already lost access just because you tried the plot device. Trying it was enough for me to cut you off. No, I don't owe you an explanation. I don't owe you a negotiation. I gave you a chance and you blew it just by coming at me with it. It's that simple.
Hold on.
I don't owe you nothing.
Just to be clear on the definition of a concubine, because there's a big difference. A concubine is a woman who cohabits with a man, engaging in a sexual relationship while holding a lower social or legal status than a wife. Historically, she was often considered a secondary wife.
A secondary wife.
Within a household, common in polygamous societies, for the purpose to bear children or provide companionship. That's not the same thing as an IG chick. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing.
An IG chick is an open prostitute.
Yeah, I mean, if she's up under the command structure of the man, then she's for him. If she's in the streets and she's a free agent, now that's the hoe. That's the whore. If she's up under this one man, then she's loyal to him. She just doesn't have the same legal status as the wife, but she's still up under his leadership. That's the key. That's the problem. If you're out here as a free agent, you cause a lot of problems. So it's that's the issue. They go from this dude, this dude, this dude, this dude, this dude. Even in that context, she was supposed to be up under him. That's why he built it for her, because he had obviously a strong connection with her. So I think a lot of times, man, a lot of dudes, when they looking at this situation, they don't understand a lot of times they're looking at it from a self-righteous perspective. And a lot of times they're looking at it from a self-righteous perspective is because a lot of times they just don't really understand women and how sex for them is not the same thing as sex for you. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? So when I see the Instagram chick and she's being honest about it, I can respect her honesty. I ain't saying I respect her being a hoe. I'm saying I respect her being honest about being a hoe. It's the ones with the PhDs and the masters who are the ones that sounded the dumbest the most out here. It's really them because you would think that those females will be the ones that should be the ones you can choose to marry because they are supposed to be quote unquote the good ones. Well, if the good ones are trying to be like the females we would never really even think about marrying, then that says more about them because you're not being groomed to be that kind of woman, and you still go out there and choose to be that kind of female because you erroneously believe, or maybe you do want to use sex to control men. And if you want to use sex to control men, guess what, baby? You don't want a man because a real man ain't gonna let you use sex to control him. I ain't never done it. I've never done it. I ain't let no chick use sex to manipulate me and control me to give her something she doesn't deserve. And if marriage is a gift, I will never let a chick use sex to manipulate and control my heart into loving her to have to get married to her because we don't require that as men for marriage. If you want to be a hoe, we'll accept you as that. But you don't have to be that, and you shouldn't even be that if you want a man to marry you. So that shows you most females don't want marriage because their very behavior ensures that they never get that shit.
Well,
So wait a minute, I just
hold fast. I gotta say this, and I'm sorry, usual Ben, but I gotta get this other brother in. So you're gonna have to go after him. Look, real talk, y'all. It's about what you're dictating. I understand how a lot of people are because they've been getting bad messages for a long time. As a man, you have to determine how valuable sex is to you. I promise you, if all you have is sex for me, you coming up short. Now, every man can make that choice. I'm a man too. I got to deal with the fact that I'm gonna find women attractive and all the other stuff. All y'all got to deal with. I got to deal with it too. At the end of the day, it's up to your determination. But truth be told, a lot of us we don't accept that it's up for us to determine. If when the women start trying to pay for men, heck, I might be one of the first ones to sign up. If they're gonna take care of me for a lifetime, I might be one of the first ones to sign up. But the truth is they ain't doing it. So as long as they ain't doing it, they not gonna dictate any terms to me. Period. Now I gotta get this other brother in who just came in, and after him, we getting usual business in. What if it ain't okay, there you go. It ain't it ain't going it ain't gonna blow itself. I guess we all know what that means. It ain't gonna blow itself. It's here. Glad to have you here, my brother. You got the mic. Go right ahead.
Salute to you. I'm glad I made it at the end. Well, the title should explain it all. It should have summed it up, right? That should be enough. But at the end of the day, women, you got to listen to women because if you don't, it ain't gonna blow itself. You gotta let women feel heard because if you don't, it ain't gonna blow itself. I mean, why? Because it ain't gonna blow itself. Women do have value. Women have immense value. And at the end of the day, I don't know what you brothers talking about. Well, I'm gonna say this in a general sense. Sex is valuable to mankind. And in order to get that sex from certain women, men have started wars. Men kings have been destroyed. Why? Because it ain't gonna blow itself. Even God Himself had to do a remix because the one before Eve was cutting up too bad. So at the end of the day, my brothers, when we say that women are not mature, when we're saying that women are not valuable, I think we're doing a huge disservice. a huge disservice. Number one, we're discrediting the good women, and number two, we're not preparing men properly and how to deal with women. And I'll leave it there.
Well, I'm gonna say that's not actually even being sick. But at the end of the day, it's up to every man to determine how valuable something is to him. If sex is enough for you in today's climate, you're probably a fool. It's that simple. If that's enough for you, you're probably a fool. Now, there'll be some guys who are rich enough that they don't have to care about anything else because it's already taken care of. Are you that person or are you not? Be real with yourself, because what you tell somebody else ain't gonna make a difference. That's something you got to be real with yourself about. I'm gonna say again, since I am not a sultan, sex ain't enough for me.
No matter how much or how little is Rod. Okay, no matter how much or how little is on the market, it's still valuable. Bottom line.
I'm not saying it ain't valuable, but I'm gonna say bottom line is, since I am not a sultan, sex is not enough.
Okay,
that's a very simple thing.
I'm saying for mankind, not you. I'm not saying for you.
If someone else is not a sultan,
mankind,
why should sex be enough?
Because woman had to sew, she had to go fetch water, bro. So it actually
here's the reality.
Come on.
Here's the reality of being a living species. Sex is the most important thing. Why is it the most important thing? Because none of us would fucking be here without it. So let's stop pretending that sex is not a super duper important thing.
Yeah.
Now, in the corruption and everything else, it creates a whole lot of other problems. But let's stop being so flippant about the importance of sex. We are all literally here because our daddy really wanted to bust off in some shit.
Yep.
Like, we're all here because of that.
Yep.
Man,
like usual business. That usual business get his stuff off, man.
Well, let me say real quick. I mean, that's not even an argument, and it's literally not even important to the conversation. The important part is what are you willing to get the sex? That's where stuff gets corrupt.
So hold on, Roger, really quick. So when you're saying should we listen to women, what do we say here? Because I just came at the tail end.
Yeah, well, sometimes you might want to listen to a little bit before you come in. No, brother. Truth be told, I don't even think we should be listening to women who ain't helping us accomplish something. And since most of them ain't doing that, they ain't worth listening to.
Oh yeah, well I agree with that. That's fair, right? Yeah, because they're just time wasters.
They helping you bust off though, Roger. They helping us bust off.
Yeah, you know what? That's not enough for me. I don't have no problem saying that. That ain't enough for me.
I want to change my statement. Okay, listen. If we're talking about like just random women, right? Women that you're not in relationships with, they're just time wasters. Of course not. You should listen to them. Now, the woman that you're dating or in a relationship with, if she's not helping you, there's bigger problems than just sex, right? You got other problems because, like, you're supposed to be teammates. You're supposed to help one another. So if she's just there being an anchor to your life, you should. Should be transitioning in the first place. I'm not saying dump her now, no, because at the end of the day, it don't suck itself. But you should definitely be doing the Klay Thompson.
Hoes ain't the problem. It's niggas trying to love them. That's the problem.
Yes.
To be honest.
But it's okay. It's okay to love hoes. It's okay to love hoes. But when it's not okay to lose yourself in the loving of the hoes. But it's okay to love hoes.
Proverbs 31. The queen mother talks to her son king, and she says, "Be wary of women who are the downfall of kings." What kind of women you think she was talking about?
All women.
Hoes.
No, she was talking about whores.
All women.
She talking about whores, man.
Look,
talking about hoes, man.
If you're a virgin, how you gonna be the downfall of the king?
It's because virgin is not enough, bro. It's not enough, bro.
You ain't having nothing with her, bro.
It clearly says that finding a good woman is like finding a ruby. Who can find one?
Proverbs 31 is all about an elder woman telling her king's son how to keep. Hold on, because this is a woman talking. So this is an elder woman telling her king's son how you pick the proper woman
I know
as a wife, so you don't lose your kingdom. So she knows as a woman Because she would know, because as a queen, there were plenty of females that were throwing their pussy at her king husband. So who would better know than her?
So first of all,
No. Answer the question. Who would know better about that?
So first of all, it was written by Solomon, not the queen. Secondly,
Man, look. I don't need all of that.
I'm
Do
answering
you
your
understand the purpose of what I'm just
answering your
saying, though?
question. I'm
But
answering your
you're
question.
trying to correct me. Do you understand the gist of what I'm saying?
What I'm saying to you is that at the end of the day, it's all women. That's what I'm telling
Do
you.
you understand the gist of what I just said?
And I disagree with it.
So you disagree with a queen mother warning her son about certain calibers of females who exist, because in those times, according to you, because you believe that, and according to those times, you were a virgin or you were not, and the females who were not were considered a certain type.
First of all, let's read it right. Psalms 31 verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy waist which destroyeth king. It's talking about all types of women. All types of women.
Okay, so what all types of women are you talking about then? Identify those women for me.
All. ALL, all.
Okay.
So
look,
that completely refutes everything you've just been saying then.
Look, to me, the importance is about listening to women. Meaning, what are you going to do? Because at the end of the day, women can suggest anything. They will suggest just about anything that they can come up with that they feel is going to put them in a better position. And their feeling is all they need. If they feel like it's going to help me, they'll suggest it at the end of the day. As men, you get to say whether it matters or not. And a lot of us as men, we don't accept that. We don't accept that we get to determine whether what they say it matters or not. We don't actually believe that. It's that simple at the end of the day. We don't believe it. I heard what the woman said. She sounded like an idiot to me. To me, it is idiot talk. Her telling me what I got to do for a living to satisfy her sounds completely stupid.
Yeah, that's insane.
Mad. Crazy. That's what it sounds like. She's mad.
If I'm the person
that woman go dictate to that man, how she go dictate to him, Roger? I'm with you.
If I'm the person paying, you don't get to tell me how to pay. I'm sorry, you don't.
If I put a car on the market, a '94 Honda Accord, and I'm selling it for $30,000, if a motherfucker come and buy it, then it works.
Yeah, and you gonna be waiting on that motherfucker for a long time, and you know. So you just like them women.
I would say, Jado, good point.
Jado,
you definitely gonna be waiting on that person.
Hold on, Jado, hold on. This, in your infinite wisdom, Jado, are most niggas gonna pay that price she dictate?
Nigga, hey, I don't know. Hey, Ryan, I don't know if you heard my opening statement. I said OBO, man, or best offer. They're all operating like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And my thing is, again, I'm not gonna say a woman can't ask for what she wants, but why I gotta care about what she asking for? That is something that black men, from a general standpoint, I honestly believe we don't have that filtering system. I heard what she asked for, but to me, I have to filter it through. Do I even care that she asked for it? And I don't think most black men do it. I think we just say, well, that's what she asked for, so therefore it should be important.
I think most black men lose themselves in relationships. You can love a woman, you can have a conversation with them, you can have discussions with them, but it's very important that you don't lose yourself, right? You don't lose yourself in a conversation. You don't run yourself ragged trying to prove something to her. That's where the problems come in. It's to lose yourself in the relationship to try to prove something that is not your fault in the first place.
Well, but if you're a grown man and you are convinced to be a boyfriend, you've already been subdued. You've already lost.
Now I'm gonna say shout out to Jay Bones. Appreciate the super sticker, my brothers. Appreciate the super sticker. Y'all, this is the thing. The reality is, who's making the determinations on where you are going in your life? For most of us, it's a woman. And it's a woman you can't truly even explain why she even dictating what you're doing in your life. I don't care what a woman got to offer. I care about, do you have what I want? You can have a bunch of stuff to offer that I don't want, need, or care about. That doesn't mean anything to me. What do you have to offer that I actually want around me? That's what matters to me. And at the end of the day, again, until women start talking about, hey, Roger, I want to take care of you for the rest of your life. See, what those women can tell, if Oprah wanted to say, hey, Roger, I'm going to make a deal with you. I'm going to take care of you until you die. This is what I need you to do. I can listen to Oprah terms because she got them. She got the money. I can listen to her terms and I say, okay, I'm willing to do that. But most women ain't offering that. So at the end of the day, I don't even care what they talking about. Because their main concern is what I'm willing to do for them.
Most men do not base the value of a woman based on money. They don't. They don't make that kind of analysis or calculus, in some kind of debits or credits of exchange of resources and money. But men, a woman is much more of an intangible thing. How she makes me feel. Does she really love me? Does she really enjoy having sex with me? I mean, like, do I really feel as though this woman enjoys me as a man? Those are incredibly important things to men. We're not concerned about how much money she's willing to spend on. Most men are not concerned about how much money a woman is willing to spend on them. And guess what? With the right woman, they aren't even all that concerned about how much money they got to spend on that woman. See, we keep talking about this money and who's paying for what or whatever, but 99% of men who get married are not concerned about money. They're not. Because they really were concerned with money. Most of them would not get married at all. But you keep saying that.
No, Black.
You keep saying that. And I'm saying you're missing the point. Look, there are men who will support. Let me tell you something. There are men who will send this woman money that will never meet this woman.
Yeah.
And they will send that woman money just because of how she looks, just because of how she makes him feel.
Yep.
That's it.
True.
Yep. 100%.
I don't disagree with that, but when I'm a man,
and guess what, Roger? Guess what? You can't cure them of that. And it's fine for you to be the way you are. That is fine for you to be big, strong Roger, invulnerable, indestructible. Can't nobody get to my heart or my spirit. That is fine for you. That is not the majority of men.
And Roger, if you tell him he's dumb, man, he gonna want to jump on you.
Look. I'm not calling nobody a name. What I'm saying is, even if you get intangibles, you still should respect what you got to pay for to get the intangibles. It's not about putting it on her. It's about looking at yourself. What am I willing to pay for these intangibles? And most of us don't even have a clear direction on how much we should pay for even the intangibles. Cooking for a person is an intangible thing.
Here's my issue, though, right? When we say that you're going to take care of her, she's not going to take care of you. That is not true. I've seen my grandmother take care of my grandfather until he died. I've seen women over here, take care of the men until they died. Literally take care of them, wipe their ass, bathe them. Right? Men should be looking for that.
My great aunt
was being offered.
We take care of each other in different ways. Yeah, I take care of you, but you also take care of me. You watch my blood pressure. You watch my weight by what you cook and eat and stuff like that.
They're literally saying how they're not going to do those things, though. I get what you're saying, but when you offer saying I'm not going to do these things for a man, they don't count anymore.
You're missing my point. I'm missing my point. When we keep saying that we're going to take care of them and they're not going to take care of us, we're telling black men that you shouldn't be out looking for that, and you should. And if it's not there, then go somewhere else to get it. But it is a woman's job to take care of a man. If a woman sees a fat guy and not dates him because he is fat, she's a lazy hoe. Just like a man would see a woman and say, "Oh, she's too poor. I'm not going to date her." Men don't care about her money, and women should not care about how fat, because she could be cooking, taking care of him, and make him lose the weight. Same thing with dressing.
That's not what I'm not arguing these things though.
But no, I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that we as black men need to stop saying that they're not going to take care of us.
And just focus.
They're supposed to.
And just focusing on the money, you're not dealing with the heart and the spirit of the men who feel like they gotta send that woman money. That's what's missing from what you're saying. When you simply make it a matter of who's paying what bills. Look, if I'm an IT guy and I'm clocking in a couple of $100,000 a year, yeah, I'll throw some money at some Instagram bitches, because the money don't mean that much to me.
Yeah, 2, 3.
It don't. But how that bitch makes me feel when I look at her, because she looks like Miley Cyrus or some shit, or whatever the hell fantasy this guy got going on, that's the only thing that matters.
Women do take care of men, and that's why we should. If you have a good woman that's going to take care of you, then yeah, you should listen sometimes.
A good woman will do a lot of intangible things.
That should be the messaging. And that should be more of the messaging. If you want to break them from the spell of women like this, you got to talk to them more about what they do need from women. Not what they don't need, but what they do need from women.
What I have been trying to say. That. Go ahead, whoever that was going to say that, but I've definitely been trying to say that.
No, it was me. The proper woman can offer you wise counsel. She can't tell you what to do, but she can give you wise counsel. And if a woman is locked into you on that frequency, she gonna give you the real. You know, there are females who are prostitutes that actually help men stay married to their wives, because they show them how to actually work that shit. And it works. It's all in the context of it. You know what I'm saying? The problem is that this average female out here is just out for herself. There is no reciprocation like that. So if you're spending, if you're, just think about it. If you're spending the money on something that you consider of value, that means that thing has to bring value back to you. Like if you're spending money and you're still not getting value, you're the problem, because you're paying for a defective product. Are anybody want to take that? If you buy some shit from the automotive store and that shit don't work, you got your receipt, man, you taking that shit back. That's how it works. You sending that shit back, or you exchanging it, or you sending that shit back. You return it. It ain't no different when it comes to these females. The issue is that a lot of dudes don't know how to maintain. A lot of dudes have never just dealt with females on the strength of just you who you are, and that female is who she is, and that's it. They feel like they have to overperform just to get something so fucking basic from a chick. Fucking that bitch is basic, man. No complicated damn enterprise.
But this is the issue, because I've been saying this stuff for years, and when you think about it, sex has never been enough. I've never got up here one time and said sex is enough, because it ain't. Not for me. Now, if it's sex enough for you, that's cool, but for me, it ain't nowhere near enough, because I'm not a king. I don't own a whole country, so sex just ain't enough for me. At the end of the day, you're required to be reciprocal. It's not even a choice. If you get to deal with me, you must be reciprocal. And at the end of the day, look. I mean, Shark cracked the joke about the girl I bought a sandwich for. Now, as soon as she asked me for something after I had already bought her a sandwich, ain't no second conversation. She came at me stupidly because she asked me about $150. I just met you at the end of the day. You too stupid for me to involve myself with. Ain't no second chance. That's a me thing. I ain't saying everybody else got to be that way, but that's a me thing. Ain't no second chance.
Roger, She was selling pussy, man.
I get
She was selling pussy. You just were not ineligible. You just were. She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
You just were not ineligible to
And
go because you were supposed to flip that conversation in a way in which we talking about her giving up some ass.
Yeah.
That's
I,
You
why
was
she
supposed to be
told you
shopping
that.
that day.
I,
But she couldn't
I,
just outright say, "Give me." She couldn't just outright say, "Give me a couple $100," and I'll bust it wide open. So she
Yeah.
just threw that in there, and you were supposed to then throw on the Chicago Mac, and at some point we supposed to be, well, what you gonna do for this $120?
I,
That's how that
I,
was supposed to go.
I
You were
told,
supposed to tell her I only got cash, and you're
I,
gonna have
I,
to come get it.
I get
Yeah,
where y'all coming from,
and
but no,
I got some
I
money on.
only
I got
got
some money on
50.
the dresser. I got
at
some
the
I
money
only
on the
got
at,
50.
dresser.
That's what you. Yeah,
at the end of the day, she was so young. That was it was if she her on a selling pussy scale because most of them do sell pussy. She was new at the game. This happened to me when I was young. They was young too. And at the end of the day, I don't care what she wanted. I only care what I wanted. And
Well, you
that's
were
where me.
shopping.
Hold on. This is where men mess up. We so concerned with what they want and have no concern about what we want.
No, Roger,
I'm
it doesn't.
focused on.
no, we're not. We're not.
I'm not
No one
saying
is
none of y'all
concerned
wrong.
about what she wants.
Right, we're not saying.
I'm just
Right,
explaining what she was doing.
No,
right, Roger.
Roger,
So the thing about it is, like, there has to
Roger,
be.
Roger, did you really
Hold
like
on,
that
hold
chick?
on, 1 second. There has to be like this kind of happy medium. Like, I agree with you, right? You go on your plan, and the people in your life should be on your plan. If they're not, you gotta let them go. But in this case, she's not stupid, bro. She was just selling pussy, and you weren't shopping that day. You weren't in the market, right?
I
Because
didn't. I
that's
didn't
it.
call her anything. I'm focused on what I want. I ain't
I
calling
understand
nothing.
that, and you didn't want
Did
to
you, did
shop.
you, Roger? Did you really like her?
You didn't.
I
You
just
didn't
met
shop.
her.
It does matter because that
No,
makes a difference. That's why.
no,
That's why
no,
Uru was saying what he's saying. It makes a big difference.
no. I'm saying I don't even know her well enough to know if I even liked her or not. She looked good. That's all. She got a sandwich for looking good. When it comes down to it, she looked
I'm
good
just
enough for me
saying
to
though.
talk
You
to.
Okay,
you
okay. At that
presented
time,
you
at that time,
you presented the.
That is true. That is true. This is your
hold,
fault, Roger.
I mean,
hold on. At that time, hold on. At
you
that time,
presented
Roger.
this to you presented.
That is true. Ain't that some shit?
Listen, listen, listen. The show ain't
You
about
put her.
Roger
All
fumbling.
I'm saying
The
is
show ain't about Roger
all I'm saying
fumbling
is
with pussy.
Roger.
Damn.
Yeah, no, but we're not talking about whether he should have whatever. I'm just saying you present this as if it's like her fumbling the bag when
That's
that's
true.
not really what happened. What
It's
happened is she was a little hoe and she was
no,
making a proposition and
I,
you just weren't with it.
I'm not
but Uru,
presenting that she fumbled anything. I'm presenting the fact that I don't care what she wanted in the
But
first place because it was
but
about me.
She was
It
but
trying
what
to give you what
is
she
and that's
she?
wanted.
It what
as
hell?
well
It
you
what
should.
is what
So,
As
she
Roger,
well
can
you
I
wanted.
ask you a
should.
question? Roger,
All I'm
let me
saying
ask you
is
a question.
what she wanted didn't coincide with what I wanted. Don't matter.
what
Roger,
did you
can
want?
I ask you a question? Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How successful do you think you're going to be if you don't care about the reciprocal nature
Right,
of
right.
Yeah, that's
interaction?
real
How
shit.
successful do you think you're going to be?
It's extremely hard to be to be successful without requiring reciprocation.
Because that iron fist, it sounds nice, but see, because this is the problem here. See, most guys don't take into consideration the types of guys a lot of females have met and dealt with once they meet you. Okay, and you could be a precedent setter, but man, that shit will be a shocking experience for a lot of females. And a lot of times it's because the truth of the matter is, by the time a black female meets you, she done came across so many sucker dudes, she just gonna assume you a sucker. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. You can set the terms because as a man, you set the tone of what it's supposed to be. But it's in how you do it too. You know what I'm saying? If you approach it from that particular perspective, like I say it to dudes all the time. The reason why so many dudes, and I ain't just talking about black dudes, I'm talking about white dudes too. The reason why so many white dudes get me too, you want to know why they get me too? because they have the money, they have the power, they don't understand the other side of it. They just want to like, I'm gonna dog this chick out because I got this money and I got this power, and she gonna bow down. Yeah, that sounds good, but how many dudes could have been saved if they would have just hit that chick off with, man, just 10 bands? They go buy you some nice shoes or something. You would have had dudes lose $200 million severance packages from companies because they just wanted to be all hard all the time. It don't take all that shit all the time. Sometimes some finesse works a whole lot better. Unfortunately, rest in peace, Kobe. When Kobe was on that ass, like he was on that ass, when he caught that case, Kobe had that kind of mentality too. And it cost him too. So you gotta be very, it's nuance to it. Like, yeah, you can get what you want, but there are certain strategies you can employ to actually get what you want. Sometimes you gotta play it smooth and cool. It don't have to be bringing the fucking hammer like I'm the man and such and such. Yeah, that's all good, and I'm with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that when it's time to protect your position, yeah, you be on that. But a lot of times you don't have to be on that in the very beginning. Like Uru was saying, like you just needed to understand the play. Oh, she was just trying to come with it like that. All right, man, boom. Well, I got some money on the dresser for you here. Come on through.
Yep.
That's all it takes. Boom, in.
Yeah,
Money on
I
the
think that
dresser.
brother that we talked about last week. I think part of what happened with those two women was he didn't have the right bedside manner. I think
Right.
I think he and I'm not saying he committed any crime, but that second woman in particular, where it seemed like she tried to follow up with him, and he said he didn't return her calls and stuff like that. I mean, it's not that he necessarily committed a crime, but what you did do was give her some emotional shit that, under the right circumstances, could be used against you. So you got to
Right.
try to leave this shit as clean as possible when y'all break
Exactly.
camp.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah,
also
for real,
you gotta
bro.
be careful. Also,
You
you gotta be
gotta put the
careful.
money on the
You gotta
dresser.
you gotta be careful how you set stuff up. You know they say like how you start a relationship is how you end it. So off the rip, when you brought her something, right? You brought something. She's in her mind. Okay, this dude is giving me shit off the rip. I ain't gotta do much. So you can't be like really. You can't. I'm not saying you are, but I mean you kind of can't be mad when she's asking for the 250 because you start off the relationship with, okay, I'm giving you shit for free.
No,
For
this is the reality, bro. You don't know me well enough to ask me for anything. She too stupid to know that, and
no,
that's her
but
fault.
bro, at the end of the day, what she knows is that this nigga gave me a sandwich on the
You
free.
you think you the first nigga she tried to get $150 out of?
I mean, for
That,
real.
Come
I
on,
mean,
man. Come
what
on, man.
y'all not
For all you know, she batting 750.
what
facts.
what
man, for real,
what
bro.
what what
For
y'all
real.
what y'all not getting is I don't care nothing about what she want. I never did. She never got to a position for me to care about what she want. I don't care
Roger
nothing about
B.
what she want. And
Roger
that's
B.
not me. No, hold on. It's not me trying to sound hardcore. It's just a reality. I care about what I want. In order for you to matter, you have to be around long enough for me to think something of you. I don't even remember her name. I have to
That's
think
fine.
something of you. And
That's fine,
the
bro.
Now,
issue is a
are we
lot of
talking
guys
about
don't
this
think that way.
Shark? Is Shark still here? Shark,
Yeah.
your ass, you brought this shit back up. Just
This a
so
little
so
this
this is on you.
Roger,
Yeah,
What
this is
this
what
is
Shark?
on you.
I'm
You
gonna
brought
clear
this
it up
shit
for
back
Roger.
up.
This is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
Roger. She was
yeah. He
trying
brought
to
the
see,
Absolutely.
do
sandwich
you want
thing
to?
back up.
She ain't want to say, give me $150, so she said, buy me an ID. She was
Bro,
giving
Yeah,
you what you
I
wanted.
hear what you're saying. The point is I don't care about anything she's saying.
Okay, so
Because
Roger, let me
hold on. At the end of the day, she wasn't talking about buying me nothing. So your words don't matter.
okay, cool. But what
Right,
happens?
okay.
What happens when you? So let's move on past that. So what should you do when the woman's words does matter? You're in a relationship with a woman where her words does matter.
Everything still has to flow through you, and nothing she get. She, as I've said before, you never give a woman something you need back.
I mean, forget about giving and gifting. I'm talking about because we're talking about listening, right? So what happens when you're in a relationship where a woman is worth listening to?
If she tells you something, you consider what she says. If you agree, you make it happen. If you don't agree, you don't.
I'm done.
Let me say this.
Yeah,
Let me
look,
say this. Okay, hold on. Let me just say this. Let me say this. Look, I bought you these pair of heels. They over here waiting on you. What you gonna do? That's it. You get there, you pay for it in cash. Hey, if you don't like the heels, you can take them back. Simple.
yeah.
Simple.
And
Simple.
and when she get over,
She
and when she
know
get
that,
over,
bro. She know what that means.
you say when she
He's
and
not
when she
shopping.
get over, you say you say when she come over and you had the shoes dangling in your hand, you say, I'll swap these shoes for that dress. That's how
Hey,
you do
Boom.
that.
That's
make
that's
sure
That's
natural.
how you do that.
That's how you get
make
it, man.
Yeah,
make sure you pay for the shoes on
yeah.
the credit card. That way, the money comes back to you, or she got to take a gift card.
Look, I mean, real talk.
Game over.
If I
Game
if I
over.
if I
It's
buy
it.
some woman some shoes and she don't want the shoes I got, I just don't buy shoes no more. I'm
Bro,
taking
that's
those back,
cap.
and
That's not
Which,
what we're
which,
And
saying,
which,
Roger.
which,
and
That's
which,
not
and,
what
which,
we're
and to be
saying.
Roger,
honest,
you ain't
I'm
listening,
sure
bro.
I'm sure most of the guys only had to pay what $50-$60 for that ID, Rod. I'm sure most of them only had to pay
Hold on.
50.
Who paid $120 to pay for an ID, bro?
man.
But I mean, we gotta. I mean,
They
Roger,
all,
you gotta.
they only
I
had
mean,
to
come
pay
on,
they only
bro.
had to pay $50 for the quote ID, Rael. For the quote ID. End quote.
I
So,
mean, come
Yeah.
on, man.
I mean, we gotta. I
Yeah.
think we gotta be a little bit more cautious on this Iron Fist. Like, if I buy her shoes and she takes them back, I'm not buying her anything else again. Man,
That's not what I said. I just said I ain't gonna buy no shoes again.
yeah, that's what I said. I'm not gonna buy any more shoes for her again. I've brought shoes I've been in so many relationships. I brought shoes, they took it back and they got something different. It doesn't bother me. I'm not supposed to be good at picking women's shoes. That is her thing. She can take it and send it back, whatever. There's things that she brought me that I took back that I didn't like. We gotta kind of like relationships is give and take. It's
The
not all
shoes. Hold on.
hold on.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
all
I don't
blind man.
know.
The
Anytime,
shoes.
let
Hold
me
on. The
tell you.
shoes are just
Anytime I
your
ever
way.
anytime I ever bought shoes, that was some
Got
easy
some
greasing for
booze.
me, cuz.
But come
Anytime I ever
on,
bought any
Bruno, man.
shoes,
Come on.
man,
Why y'all making this so hard?
that was
Y'all are
that was
overthinking
easy.
something so
Man, that
simple,
was
bro.
woo, that was sliding in the
I
home
gave it to
plate,
y'all
cuz.
the simplest way you could get
Dave.
it, bro.
Hey
Y'all
man,
are, hold on. You are limiting so much problems. She gonna be so focused on some shoes. Do you know what the shoes is gonna symbolize? That Cinderella shit. That shit is
Yeah.
going to fuck her whole. Damn, that
And
nigga bought me
hey,
some shit. Like
and and
no,
she,
don't
it don't matter. It
and
don't
don't
matter
and
if she
don't
don't like
and
the
don't
shoes.
and don't and don't let me put the shoes on the cuz. Come
Oh,
on,
no,
bro,
man.
stop. Come
Y'all
on,
don't
come
no.
on,
y'all don't know about this
come on,
business,
dog.
man.
Come on,
It
dog. Come
matters.
on, bro.
It
Come on,
First of
dog.
all, it
Chill,
matters
Uber. You giving out
if
too
she
much
likes
game.
this. It matters if she likes the
My
shoes or
bad, my
not
bad,
because
my bad.
it shows that you're paying attention to her style. Two, it shows that
That's
you
true.
have an ability
That's
that
true.
most men don't to pick out the right shoes. And what you do is buy the instep so you save her little balls of her feet a little bit if you really want to impress her.
Right. Thank you. Y'all
Although
thinking too
although
hard about some
although
simple
even
shit, bro.
if they're nice shoes, even if the size ain't right and whatever, she will appreciate the
Right, she
fact
would
that
definitely.
you thought enough to put some on her feet.
Right,
Because
Yep.
I
women
fuck
are very sensual about their feet.
They
I
are
First,
fuck up. I
very,
fuck
very
up.
erotic.
I
Very
messed up
that's
many of
that's
shoe
an
Yeah.
choices
erogenous
before,
zone for women,
and
man.
it didn't
If you
matter.
know
I
how to
still
massage a
she was
woman's
still
feet right,
grateful.
you can make her come,
Hold
bro.
on. I have messed up many
Come on,
shoe
dog.
purchases, right? I messed up many shoe purchases, and she was still grateful for it because it's more about
Yeah.
the effort and the care for it,
Yeah.
right? Like at a birthday party, I'll have a
Yeah.
birthday party. Then at the party, she'll get her shoes, whatever, because she says she likes
Hmm.
it. And you just keep the receipt, and then if it's not right, you just take that shit back and get the right
And,
one.
but it's
And,
not just about
and
her being happy.
if you real player with it, you say, okay, baby, that's cool. Let's just go back to the store and get the right shoes.
Right.
If you
That's it.
real
Boom.
player with it.
That's it. No, I don't go back.
Come
Yeah.
on.
She goes back by herself. I ain't got time to go that shit. I hate shopping. But
Hold on,
because
niggas.
now
Yeah, they don't get it.
it's like a date scenario. You turn it
Thank
into a
you.
date scenario. That's what it
Uru,
is.
Uru.
And if you
I
ain't
have
shit like me, I
women
call the credit
around the
card company
world.
and say I ain't make this purchase and get my money back.
I have many women around the world. I'm not shopping with these hoes. I can't stand it. That's yeah.
Well,
And let me tell you something,
everybody
bro.
can't be the international. Everybody can't be the international player you are, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something right now, bro.
That's true.
For let me say a couple years ago.
That's true.
Let me say a couple years ago. Like, cause I know a lot of my woman staff. So, and it's funny too, man. Like, it was during the holiday season, and man, I was in that store. Like, the looks you get from women when you're in those stores.
Are we still on here?
Let me tell you something, dog. When they see you, man, it's a lot of females that will throw pussy at you, seeing you buy heels for another woman.
Hey, fellas,
They
are we
just
still on? Are we still
Yeah,
on
hold
here?
on,
Nah,
hold
yeah.
on,
Okay.
we on air.
Mhm.
hold on.
We on air.
Hold on.
And I was
Let me
gonna.
say this. Hold on. I'm saying this for a reason because a lot of dudes will go out here and spend $200 on a dinner with a female that don't really like them like that. They just using you for a free meal. Send her a picture of that box of heels you got for her. Say, I got a present for you. You're gonna get a different response, dog. I'm telling you. You're gonna get it, and it's gonna be cheaper. Like, dude, we ain't telling you go buy the Jimmy Choo's or you know what I'm saying? Some really expensive heels.
Go,
We're saying something that is comparable to what you're going to spend on a date.
go,
I guarantee you, it's
go
not
What about
going
to
to
those?
go to the
What about,
shoe. Take her
to
to
be
the
that
take her
expensive, man.
to the shoe. Take her to the shoe store.
I got
Take her
one
to if
size
it's
then.
a nice shoe store. Take her to the shoe store. Let her model around in some shoes, walking back
Thank
and
you.
forth while you sit in easy chair and watch her. And watch how
Thank
the
you.
other women look while you up
Yep.
in there with her.
Yep. Yep.
This is what you do.
Yep. Preach.
Well, it's
Hey, preach.
the art of actually dating and the magic of it. It's gone. So this is why these are foreign concepts to a lot of guys now.
And I want to say, shout out to all the niggas with foot fetishes and whatnot, because obviously we got a pound full of niggas with foot fetishes, and that's okay. Because the point I'm making is it ain't about the shoes. It's about I don't buy people gifts that don't appreciate the fact that I bought them a gift. If you show me you don't appreciate, see, you ain't got to like the gift. You still got to show me you appreciate the fact that I bought the gift, which is a very different thing. If you give me a message that you don't appreciate the gift, I just don't buy them to you no more. It's simple as that. You had a chance. Thought I not gonna
Brother.
like every gift someone gives them, but you at least got to be intelligent enough to have at some point discuss with me something that you like, so I can do a better job next buying you a gift. That is appreciated. If I cannot achieve appreciation. I just don't do it.
Is it me or is
I'm
Roger going
normal.
in and out?
Yeah, Roger, you keep going in and out.
Yeah, he's
Oh, that's
Yeah,
just.
yeah,
Oh,
Roger,
that's
Roger,
just.
you
That's
were
just.
going in.
That's God.
I
That's
thought it
God
was me.
saying he on some
Yeah.
BS. That's God saying he on some BS. That's all
all
that
right.
Well,
is.
look,
I
Let me
thought it
get
was just me.
Todd.
I,
That's
I
the show.
agree. I agree with the argument that you make, but you can make the same gesture and get radically different responses from that gesture
Thank you.
just based on how you present it, and even the attitude in which you present. That's why I was
Yep.
saying with the whole shoe thing and going to the store, that connotes a very different kind of commitment and appreciation for the context in which you're giving that gift, because feet are a very sort of a sensual thing for women. So even you're just being particularly interested in her feet is going to kind of turn her on a little bit, generally.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Now, what I was saying, y'all, I buy for
Roger, I'm getting
people
mad.
who appreciate me buying them something. The
All right.
one thing you do not do with me is show me a lack of appreciation, because that's a signal to me to stop buying you stuff. That's what that's a signal to me of. Okay? Because if I do it and it's not appreciated, the simplest way to solve that problem is for me not to do the thing that wasn't appreciated. I'm a human being. I like to be appreciated just the same way most men like to be appreciated. I understand 2 + 2 gonna equal 4. If I do a thing and it doesn't matter with the person I do it for, I just don't do the thing. It's a very simple equation. I'm
You
not
you
making things complicated.
you
Okay.
you hold on. You like because I was going to get to that point that Uru was saying, like you go to the store, you see her style, you see what she likes. Man, they have sales all the time at Macy's. Like at the price that you're going to spend on your gas, taking her out on a date, going to the dinner, going to a movie is the same price, probably more expensive than some nice deals. Man, you could find some nice deals at Macy's and get some nice guest deals, all type of stuff. Like they gonna wear that shit. It's
Hey,
it's it's the whole in their mind. Like you're gonna be daddy, bro. That's how they're gonna look at it, bro. You're gonna have
real,
them motherfuckers in the palm of your hand most of the time, bro. Like you are. It's
real.
not gonna be. It's like I would rather do that. And if she doesn't if she doesn't reciprocate the way I want to, I'll be like, all right, cool, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Real,
I ain't have to go to no dinner. I ain't have to cuss a bitch out in public or nothing like that. I'm cool. All right, cool, no problem. But trust me, if she doesn't reciprocate, she'll go right out there and she don't get none of that shit. I promise you, she gonna think about what you did. And a lot of times that motherfucker will come back like, damn, my bad. I should have really treated you better. Like, so a lot of times you gotta just play it smooth, man. Like it ain't about you know what I'm saying, just the sex part of it. It's about the precedent that you're setting. When you set a precedent in a female's mind, you tend to have a lot more influence on what she does for you when you set a precedent. You just do.
I'm gonna say shout out to Trail Bentley. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. He said, "For the toe sucking fun, hashtag VR for widows." Okay. Look, there's a lot of people out here with foot fetishes. I ain't mad at nobody who got a foot fetish. I think I got a few of those guys on my panel. I'm just using this as an example because it was brought up. At the end of the day, I just don't believe in buying stuff for people who don't appreciate me buying stuff for them. I'm not saying someone even has to like the gift I bought them, but you do show appreciation that I bought you the gift. And if you talk to me, I'll get you a better gift the next time. But you never show me that you didn't appreciate the fact that I bought you a gift. Because for me, the way to solve that problem is to just not buy you a gift. And the problem is it's immediately solved once I make a decision to not buy you a gift. Now I have nothing. I don't have to worry about your reaction to a gift that I never bought you. And that's not me trying to be on some hardcore stuff. To me, everything in life is pretty simple. We just make it complicated. And, so at the end of the day, if I'm buying a woman's shoes, we're probably going to be together for a good period of time before I buy a woman's shoes anyway, realistically. Okay? That's me. I'm not going to start off with something like that. I'm not saying any man is wrong for doing that earlier, you know, if you're trying to impress her, cool. I'm not even saying it's a bad thing to do because women are into feet. Let's just be real about that. You know, it's about what you want, what you do. My thing is, I dictate my life based on what I think is best for me. A woman is not going to come into my life to do things for me so I don't have to do it myself. That being the case, I have to be in the head seat, period. And that's not going to change. So when I hear a woman telling me how I have to do X, Y, and Z to take care of her, that's just a woman I can't see no more. You know, if a woman would say anything close to what that woman said in the clip, to me, I can't even see her no more. I can't see women that can't see me. I'm gonna just tell you that. If I was a plumber and I heard her, I can't see her no more. She don't even exist in my world. To me, I think that's a much better messaging for men. Men, get what you want. Stop caring about what they want until they can give you what you want. Why should I concern myself with what some woman wants who ain't giving me what I want?
The
Now,
men
25
in
minutes
that
later, I
video,
agree with you.
the men in that video, Roger, did not appreciate what real work is. The men did not appreciate it. So now what messaging, like we can focus on the dumbass IG model, but she had two dudes giggling at what she was saying. Now how are you a man and don't appreciate what it means to be a fucking plumber? I mean, have we fallen that much as a group of men
Yes.
where you don't appreciate that?
Yes.
Where you'll laugh and
Yes.
kiki at with some bitch over that? See, to me, that's
Yeah.
much more alarming than the IG hoe. That's much more alarming.
Well, I'm gonna say, Black Rule, real talk. If a woman's trying to find a man to get over on, maybe those are a couple dudes you want to start with. Because the thing is, they reacted because of how they think about life. If that's how they think about life, I'm thinking if I'm a woman and I want to get over on a nigga, I want to date them. That's what I would
But
be
for
thinking.
the purposes of this channel, should our point of view be the motivations, the behavior and the motivations of the women, or the behavior and the motivations of those men? Because I think the more important messaging would be to focus on those men. And the woman is just, in my view, a manifestation of their weakness, in my view. Her presence there, them supporting her, all that, that's kind of how, I mean, I'm not saying don't criticize her and the behavior of women, but like I say, I'm seeing two grown ass men laugh like some bitches over a guy being a plumber. That insults me.
I totally get that, and I was saying earlier that when it comes down to it, the men reacted the way they react because I believe that's how a good majority of black men would take that conversation. I think they're just a good representative, and I think most black men don't respect the work of other black men because their mamas never told them to. And I'm keeping it real, and I'm not trying to say this as an insult. I don't believe the average guy respects what the average guy does. Now, as I said before, I got a family that come from like construction backgrounds and things like that. I understand a guy who's he's a truck driver, but he bringing the gas to the gas station, and he's giving the gas to the gas station so we can come fill up when we want to. I respect what that man's doing, but does the average guy respect what he does? Probably not. Because we're not trained to respect other men
But
in general.
understand, usually when a plumber comes, now think about it. Usually when a plumber comes, that's a fucking hero assignment. Because that usually means some shit is really fucked up. And it's something that your ass can't handle. So why you would not appreciate, and it's something that's got to be taken care of right away. So for men to not appreciate a plumber, what the fuck world are you even living in? Do you even know what a plumber is?
Uru, those are the type of dudes that I keep talking about. They're the type of dudes when they get around females, they ha and kiki and shit. Okay, because that's all they're doing is showing you what they really do in private. They get around you when you start saying that real shit. You right, dog. Yeah, man, they do be on that stuff like that. They play both sides of the fence. That's my issue right there. They're just showing dudes that those types of dudes really do exist because you should never laugh about anything like that. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure if both of them, if the males and the female, if they went back in their family history one, maybe two generations, they probably gonna find a black man that was a plumber in there. That is the reason why your ass exists to this day. So, like again, those types of dudes that they only exist for to be accepted by these females because a lot of these dudes really do believe that as long as they get the ass, they cool. But these the type of dudes. If that chick told them to put on a wig to snatch them, a lot of dudes will put on that wig, bro. They would do it. They that weak.
And I'm gonna say this. I deal really with the concepts that people are saying. I don't really go at any content creator because again, I understand it's just people trying to earn money for you know what I'm saying at the end of the day. And I don't care about these people enough to for them to be important to me. But I am gonna say, I mean, they let us know they associate with the woman. The one of the men said it'll be guys that won't believe she mean this. But I've been in other places with her and she said this continually, basically. So they hang out with the chick. At least one of them do, which means they cool with it. They like her mentality. That's why they hang out with her. Because guess what I do with women whose mentality I don't like? I don't give them room to be around. So they like
I
her.
don't I don't trust any dudes who, when it comes to their circle, they have females in their circle like that. I don't trust them. I do not trust dudes. Like our circle used to be our boys. It was tight. We didn't let no chicks come around ruin our friendships and stuff like that. If our dude was on some BS when it came to females, we would check them like, hey man, get off that silly shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, we used to go, there was times, man, we used to have time to link up with chicks. Man, our boy would call us, hey man, we going to hoop, man. You coming with us? Man, damn, I'm supposed to hook up with this chick, but hell yeah, I'm coming. We'll call that chick, hey man, we gotta, I got some things, I'm going to play some ball. I'll hook with you another day. But the females understood it. They understood how important that bond was. Now dudes be having females and they cliques and shit. I be like, man, that shit weak as hell, dog. Like I can't stand that shit because it lets me know, like, you the type of dude that be in these circles, man. That you be basically giving away information. You be letting these females have access to the scrolls, man. I'm like, nah, dog, I don't trust dudes like that. Like, it's one thing to have them as an acquaintance, but when they in your circle like that, nah, I don't trust people like that.
And my thing is this. At the end of the day, we as black men, we care far more about the women than we even care about ourselves. And we have no obligation to these women. When it comes down to it, women tell us all kinds of stuff and we want to respond. I remember the story about the some women who said we need some guys to be mentors for some students. And like 600 men was trying to show up to mentor these students of single mothers. Now, it was established that there's single mothers. So at the end of the day, unless someone's a widow, you don't really have, you're not a single mother if it's not by choice. But 600 men try to fill a role. Well, I think, if my memory is correct, it maybe was like 20 slots or something. Yeah, 600 men trying to do that. We care about what they want. We care a great deal about what they want. And what they want is far more important to us than ourselves. And I'm saying that needs to change. And I do get it. I'm not bashing no man for. I understand a lot of men were raised by women, and we ain't really even been around men that much. When we actually think about how much actual time we spent around men, we haven't. But at the end of the day, you're grown. You don't have to be that way. You don't have to live like that. You can start looking out for yourself. You can start looking out for the people who look out for you for real. Not somebody who just say they look out for you, but the people who actually got your back. Because where I come from, I believe there is a burden that comes with friendship. You are not really my friend if I can't call you at an inconvenient time. My friend gonna do something inconvenient for me. Anybody can do something that's convenient. So at the end of the day, we care what these women want, and we express it in all kinds of ways. And we need to be putting the focus on ourselves. Because if black men are supposed to be the leaders, which they keep telling us we are, how come we listen to everything but that one thing? If I'm the leader, I get to dictate the rules. So at the end of the day, women can really be quiet unless they come through with a check. Why ain't you paying for something? And I understand everything ain't about money. I do get that. But we are so far gone, money needs to be much more important to us right now. Who care about you? The people willing to turn some money over to you. And if a woman ain't gonna turn no money over to you, she don't think all that much of you anyway. Not if she's working. Now, if she stay at home, that's different
Yeah,
because y'all have
well,
an agreement.
I mean, the whole money thing, I think to a large extent, this whole obsession with money outside of any sort of real life mission and objectives, like I say, it just becomes this get rich or die trying kind of thing where folks are kind of jockeying for positions over each other. The women trying to maneuver around you trying to maneuver around them. You know, I think the money, and I think this is going to become much more of an issue going forward into the future. We're going to have to somewhat decouple from the notion of money. Because frankly, going into the future, a lot of us ain't gonna have that much of it, frankly, with the way shit is going. So we're gonna have to develop some different sort of value systems. When I look at this thing with this woman, like I said, I just see a bad ecological setup of men giving attention to a woman because she looks a certain kind of way. She gains a certain level of fame. She leverages that into gaining access to higher status men uh, through, essentially the world's oldest profession, generally. She gets this extra status and attention, which then garners her fame amongst women, a large group of women who then seek to emulate her and then create a cycle going back to the creation of even more examples of that original IG model. Like all these women, Meg Thee Stallion, Clay Thompson is evil, Meg Thee Stallion. Well, this is kind of the loop here. One chick, she get a lot of attention, scripper or whatever. She gets a rap deal, et cetera, whatever. Gets a certain level of fame and attention, support from men, ironically initially, which then gets boosted into a whole lot of attention and appreciation from men, from women, and then she gets this outsized leverage of cultural leverage where now she can distort the expectation, the value system and the expectations of women who then got to interact with other men. It's a terrible ecological loop that's going on here. Mental and emotional and psychological loop here.
And I
And
think
part of the cure for it has to include the men coming up off of that initial support. That's got to be a part of it. You gotta stop being fans of these hoes. You gotta stop giving likes and looks and whatever to these hoes. Because you're really fueling kind of a broader sociological diminution of our overall society. Because you're creating something, you're creating a disease that spreads by doing it.
well, that's why I think fundamentally the first thing we got to do is say it is a woman's job to help a man rather than it's a man's job to help a woman. Because context matters. Everybody wants the man to do something for a woman. but people ain't really talking about what the woman got to do for the man. So come in the door with your plan to help me get something done. You see what I'm saying? And if you as a woman don't have a plan to help me get something done, which I understand is hard to do for a stranger, that's why you should come in with what would you like me to do? Because if you come in with what you would like me to do, now I can put you where I need you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come in with your hand out, how can I put you where I need you? Because your focus is getting something for yourself. I can't make a family with a person who wants to get something for themselves. It's a waste of my time, which goes into I don't care what women want. It don't mean you can't never care. It doesn't mean that when you have a woman if you have your woman in your relationship, you can't consider the some of the things she like. But just as I said earlier today, when I think when I was asked, what if the woman asks for something? I say I got to determine if I should get it to her or not. It's up to my determination because I'm the leader, and maybe she wants something that I don't think she should have. If she can't deal with that, she don't need to be present. But when you think in that way, now you can control some stuff. Now you can dictate some things. Now you can make sure the family interest is going to be what's pushed to the forefront. Because truth be told, the average woman that makes a decision for people she's related to makes a decision for herself, and everybody else is secondary. And we got enough single mothers out there to see that that's the truth. The only women that will usually put a family first is married women. We got plenty of unmarried women who don't look out for other people first. And even some people say, well, some of them will look out for their man. They're looking out for themselves. They're trying to give a man something, so he'll come over there and give him some dick. And then what do we be saying in the background? Well, her kids are suffering. She's doing what she got to do to keep that man around to give her some dick because that's what she wants. And however her children got to suffer, she good with it. And that's the bottom line of it. So until men have an actual attitude that what I care is important and what she cares about is all secondary, you can't fix none of this stuff. Now, the guys who gonna send a woman money for doing nothing, I'm not gonna even act like I can fix them. That's a whole different psychological issue going on right there. That's a whole different psychological issue. But if you are one of those guys, I am gonna say you don't need to do that. Because what you getting out of it? You ain't really getting nothing worth anything. So I wouldn't do that. It's a waste of money. But me, I'm not giving no woman something for nothing. You want me to pay for it? Let me touch it. You got to at least do that. But again, if people develop a concept of if I give a woman something, I shouldn't be asking for it back. If you really do that, it's going to really start putting limitations on what you're willing to give. See, a lot of us as men, we do, well, if this goes south, I'm going to get this back. Now, you get to the point of saying, I don't even need it back, you get real limited on what you're willing to give away. And that's real talk. But I'm going to bring this to a close, y'all. Y'all done got about an extra hour up out of here. Is there anybody who has to get a last word in before we go off there?
I'm gonna say something real quick, man. I think necessarily the issue with y'all think y'all having necessarily is basically this: the psyche of the black man currently will have to change, and if it cannot change, we're going to have to split. I've been saying this for the longest, man. The black community is going to split in half. It will be the matriarchal you some gypsy chicks on the other side necessarily, and they clan necessarily. And remember, gypsy do have a group of men that they do work with. They do have they little clan of dudes or whatever, right? And there's gonna be the patriarchal black men on the other side, and black American men gonna have to figure out what side of the fence you gonna be on. You gonna be on the I ain't gonna say the matriarchal side. You gonna be on the patriarchal side, and they get used to either kneeling or bending. You got to get used to either standing on your feet or kneeling for the rest of your life. And you're going to have to make that choice. And when you make that choice, it will be your final choice in how you live and how you die. it just is what it is. For me, I already kind of understand this. Like I said, my math is correct. What is it? Black Reese that usually say that y'all like the way I say it, but math don't care if you like it or not. It's still gonna kill you regardless. So it is what it is.
All right. Anybody else? All right, then I'm gonna shut it on down, y'all. It's been a great show. Now, if you're new here and you want to check this stuff like this out on a regular basis, we do this at 9 a.m. Chicago time, not your time. 9 a.m. Chicago time. We will see y'all next time around. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right, and I'm out.